Today, we're going to talk about the Big Ten. We're talking AFC North and NFC North. And can we please cash a squad ride? This is Behind the Lines. We're fading Messi. And the craziest part is it's going to hit. He ain't fucking scoring.
Leo Messi! It's 2 for Messi. Back to Messi. Messi! We're back. We're better than Jonah High.
I mean, you got a guy batting leadoff who sleeps through his alarms. You got one good player on the entire team.
You're just begging for this ball to go over the wall.
If you think that square is going more than that, you should not be betting on sports. Go do something else. Would you say 85%?
More than that.
North.
95% he makes it?
Yeah, I'll give the goalie. I'll give the goalie 5%.
98.
Oh, he missed it! He missed it! What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Thursday, the first and best BTL of this week, episode 960 piece. As always, hold the fried. Joined by our two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Pickett Sports. If you're not using Pickett Sports, figure it out.
Figure it out.
Everybody's using Pickett Sports. Everybody's doing it. Cool kids are doing it. The nerds are doing it. The EV guys are doing it. You know, the influencers are doing it. The blue-collar bettors are doing it. Goots is doing it. They're all doing it. Everybody's doing it. Why are you not doing it? Are you lazy? Are you a me guy? Or do you have your priorities all out of whack? Do you not track your bets? What's wrong with you? Look in a mirror today for 30 seconds. Ask yourself, what's wrong with me? Because there's something wrong if you're not using Pickett. There's something wrong with your brain if you're not using Pickett Sports. Shout out Pickett. We use it every day, multiple times. I probably use it 30 times a day. Shout out Pickett for having us up there in New York for Pickett at the Park. Had a great time up there. Didn't get to recap, which I'm sure the other streams did, but we had a great time up there in New York City, the Big Apple, for Pickett at the Park. And Goots, we missed you up there, man.
Yeah, I missed out on it.
Yep.
Is what it is.
Goots has never been to Pickett at the Park, folks.
Never. It always lines up with the family trip.
Yep.
Might be convenient, I'll say it.
Yep.
You just want to go to Yankee Stadium.
I don't make the rules.
Wouldn't blame you for wanting to not see the Yankees. That's
Yeah.
for sure. But, yeah, I mean, all the Pickett people are asking. They're saying, does Goots not fuck with us? Is Goots anti-Pickett? You know.
Were they really
rumors.
asking that?
They were all, every
Yeah.
single one.
We all said yes.
No,
Goots, no, they're not asking
oh,
that.
okay.
No.
I don't
I
know.
don't need you stressed out over there.
I mean,
No.
Okay.
Okay. But I did want to fuck with you a little bit. Yes.
Yeah.
No, they didn't care that much, Goots. It's okay.
Ovio Blizzy
okay.
with a 5 to set
Wow.
early.
We got a 3-stream streak as well coming in from BA. He's saying Culver's, Chipotle, or Potbelly for lunch. I mean, if you can eat Culver's and go back to work in the afternoon, you're a better man than me because I need to take a nap.
Culver's like it's pretty light in comparison to like other burger places, I think. Right?
There's nothing light about a Culver's meal.
I mean, if you're getting like full like cheese curds and concrete shake, like yeah.
I mean, it's a burger, man.
I know, but I'm saying like if you were to get like a burger somewhere else, I feel like you feel considerably more like shit.
Yeah, from
No.
five guys.
I also
Yeah.
had maybe my first. I probably had another one like that. Everything's bigger in Texas this morning.
Let's hear it.
I ordered a breakfast sandwich from Quick Trip.
Yep.
Biggest breakfast sandwich I've ever seen in my entire
Wow.
life. I didn't know
Sure.
they made biscuits that big.
Sure.
They make them.
Oh yeah, did you stop it? I guess you're probably have videos coming out, but Bucky's.
Yes. Did make a stop at Bucky's. Had a big move this week. That's why there was no streams. Apologies, chat. Thanks for joining today, though, as always. And yeah, SBR, thank you for the subby. OVO Blizzy,
What's going
thank
on?
you for the subby.
Dude, you see that video?
A lot of oys in the chat.
What
Yep.
video?
The video from the 24-hour stream where you're just, oi, is she?
Oh yeah,
Oi,
I saw
is
that.
she?"
Yeah.
SBR, good to see you, Larkin, my man. Appreciate the subby. Jules as well with the 10-stream streak. We've got a hype train moving and grooving. Love to see it, folks. Love to
Someone
see
emote only. I'm not liking this.
It's
Odds.
fine.
Let him be active, man.
Matt coming in with a 60-stream streak as well.
Hey, Matt.
W Snacks, the move went as well as a move can go. Right? Moves are terrible. Moves are the worst. That's why you don't move every day. Every week. Imagine if you had to move every day. Every day you get home from work, you got to move all your shit, go somewhere else. No. Who the hell would do that?
That would be
That would suck.
Rod Knuckle
Imagine if you had to move every week, every month. It sucks.
every day.
I had to do a double move We had to drive down a U-Haul. We had to load up a U-Haul in Virginia, drive that puppy down 24 hours, including the stops, 24 hours of drive time. And then once we unloaded that into the new apartment, which is very nice, we're very happy with it, we had to then go to my old place. How's your Goots? How's your Rav? How's your Fruity? And unpack that room, put it all in the U-Haul, drive it to the new place, and bring that puppy up. The old double move. One of the oldest tricks in the book.
What was your least favorite state to drive through?
I mean, it's, Arkansas is.
I was going to assume Arkansas. I didn't know if that was for sure in your route.
Yeah, it was in there, and there was nothing there.
You can't avoid it would make the drive longer.
Yeah,
I guess.
There's nothing there. There's a city on the border of Arkansas and Texas called Texarkana.
Yep.
Which has nothing.
Breeds football.
Okay.
Did you see Arkadelphia?
Yeah, we drove through Arkadelphia.
Goated.
They were just combining Arkansas with names of cities that already existed back then.
They ran out of ideas.
They could not think for themselves back then when they were, whatever it's called, when they were going and find that land in Arkansas.
Christopher Columbus?
Well, after that, I believe.
Arkansas probably a little
Arkansas came a little late.
Columbus's time.
Arkansas was probably one of the last ones because who the fuck would go there?
Yeah.
To be honest. Arkansas is goated from Merle Lens. Tell me one good thing about Arkansas. I'm all ears. Legitimately ask me or tell me. Okay, sure. John Daly's son also plays for Arkansas, I believe.
Austin Reeves.
Okay.
Austin Reeves is from some buttfuck city in Arkansas.
Huh.
Remember we had a wedding there a month or two ago, and we drove past the middle of nowhere, and it's just like a giant billboard with his face on it. And we're like, why the fuck is here?
Yeah.
We didn't know he was from there, but he's from middle of nowhere, Arkansas.
Okay.
Darius
sure.
Acuff.
Austin Reeves. Vegas Tom, please help me out. We're going to what they call the Canadian Kentucky Derby. I don't know if they call it that, but that's what we call it. It's the biggest race in Canada. People dress up. It's supposed to be really fun. We're very excited to go up there with America's Best Racing, with Railbirds, and hopefully we can make some coins. Hopefully Trent goes 0 for 5 on all of his horse wagers, and I go 5-0. And we're going to have one heck of a time up there. Very excited. Bringing the suit, packing the suit up. Let's make some coins. And if anybody has any wagers at Woodbine, at King's Plate is what the day is called, the day of races. If anybody's got any plays, please do not be a stranger. Okay, because I need all the help I can get. All right? Sweet. Oh, yes, how could I forget Walmart? Started in Arkansas.
Walmart HQ.
Yep, thank you guys so much. You saved the show. Thank you. Perfect. Great work. Sweet. Yeah. What else did I have? I had one more thing I wanted to bring up, and then I know we got a lot to get to today, so we're not going to yap too much. But I had one more thing. Oh, yeah. We drove through Memphis.
Yeah.
To hit a cookout on the way.
Sure.
Love cookout. They don't have them
so
in Texas.
So goated.
Let's franchise one. We can make millions if they put a cookout down here.
Moving further in the south because they just
they're moving them and grooving them, but they're not in Texas yet.
Yeah, not
unfortunately.
Yet. They just started putting some in Florida.
Okay,
which is goated.
That's huge.
They
Keep
need
expanding.
Texas would be one of the biggest states if they're able to franchise it here.
I mean, come on.
Cookout's unbelievable.
Yeah.
People sleep.
Cookout is unbelievable. Cookout it's great drunk. It's great on the road. Easy to eat usually.
I was about to say, I'd even go as far to say there's not a better drunk fast food.
Yeah, probably not.
I think it's 1-1.
I agree.
Because you can pick whatever you want. You can have hush puppies. You can have a corn dog. You can have quesadillas.
Taco in a bag.
Yeah, I've never gotten that.
Walking taco.
People like it.
Yeah.
No, they're definitely good. The quesadillas there are incredible. The wraps there are incredible. If you're going to Cookout and you're not getting a Cookout tray, what are you doing? I don't understand.
There's only one reason why.
Why you wouldn't get a tray?
You guys like cheese curds?
Yeah.
They give you way less cheese curds in the plate than you order them on a town.
I mean, yeah, I could definitely see that.
It's the only way.
Well, yeah, I have gotten the curds before. I mean, they got everything, man.
Everything.
It's an incredible place. Milkshakes, if you're in that type of thing. I'm probably not on the road trip, but they got milkshakes.
That's a late night.
But I will never be going to Memphis again.
Okay.
We'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Yep.
Drive past Beale Street.
It was, maybe that's the street the Cookout was on because It was sketchy.
No, yeah, Memphis sucks. Memphis is
Bad.
It was bad.
no. Beale Street is like the fakest place ever, too. I assume that's not where you saw because it's kind of tucked away like downtown. You
Then
can't really
probably not.
you can't really drive past it.
Yeah.
But you know what it is, right?
No.
It's like their Broadway, kind of. But like
Okay.
it's one street and it looks like a class project.
Okay.
It's like in the middle of just a dog shit part of downtown
Yeah.
around just like dreary nothingness, like empty fields, broke down parking garages, and like the Memphis arena.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just this place that looks so fake
Okay.
in the middle of everything. It sucks.
Is that part of the street nice though? Beale Street?
It like looks like it. Like if
Yeah.
you look just down the street, like it looks like Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
But like you look everywhere around it, like
Right.
the street over it, it's fucking nothing.
Like, if
They
I
have a
showed
park
you-
that looks like shit.
If I showed you a picture of it, and you've obviously probably never seen it before, you'd be
No.
like, "Whoa, that looks
If you see,
nice."
If you see a picture
Okay.
of like
Yeah.
just that, like online, you'll think it's the coolest.
yeah, you'll be like,
place
"Oh, I
ever.
gotta go."
Okay.
there.
If you like
Hmm.
go there and walk that way, you'll be like, this is literally made up.
Behind the backboard. Apologies for roasting Memphis, man. I've just never been. I was not hip. It was, yeah, we should not have stopped there. Like,
Oh, you stop there?
we stopped at a cookout there. Yes.
Oh, just
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I stopped at the Bass Pro. I had to see that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
didn't
that's
even
in
see that
that's in
shit.
rural Memphis.
Yeah.
So that's not rural Memphis is kind of cool. I've been around there, but
I didn't even see that.
downtown area
blown.
is
I
just-
can't believe you didn't see that. That was part of my whole drive. I was like, we drove right past it. We're like, oh, we got to go there.
Rob, maybe they're doing some sort of special today for the Field of Dreams game. That's the only thing I could think of because I mean, yeah, you know they want to make their money. Bro, pull up Rav's video. We'll have Goots. What do they call that? Vent it. We'll have Goots watch it, see if it's worth our time.
Bet it.
Vet it. I've not been to that Bass Pro Shop, Malik, but I've obviously been to a Bass Pro Shop, but not the giant pyramid Luxor looking Bass Pro Shop. Unfortunately, Waze did not take me that way. But yeah, driving a 16-foot Penske van 24 hours was something.
Yeah.
It was something. Happy it's done. Okay, now we got football around the corner. Party's about to start. Okay. What else, chat? Anything else before we get into the recaps from
No,
eons ago?
I know you've given your
No recaps.
Okay.
your comments on Twitter, but I would love a quick JD5 statement.
Yeah. JD5 needs to have a convo with his mom, just like Patrick Mahomes had with his wife and brother. He needs to sit her down and say, Mom, I love you. You're the best. I'm nothing without you. I'm not here without you. You deserve the praise. You deserve to be on the camera if that's what you want. If you want to be by my side at any moment, you deserve it. You've earned it. Okay? But shut the fuck up. Shut up. Because you are saying and doing stupid things that are tarnishing your son's legacy. Stop being a fucking bozo. Stop doing shit because you're bored. Shut up and watch the games and watch your son thrive and play football. Why are we suing? Not suing. Well, they honestly are. It's cease and desist.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Why are we going at our alma mater? And you could say, sure, their NIL deal expired years ago, and JD5 actually gave them a couple free years of NIL. Maybe he wasn't hip. They were still using his name, image, and likeness. I don't know. I don't care. I worry about football, not this stupid shit. It doesn't really mean anything or matter. And the only reason we're talking about it is because there's no actual football on today. It's ridiculous, the whole thing, to be honest. It's ridiculous from JD5 and Mama JD5, who we obviously know is the reason why this is happening. JD5 is not a very opinionated person. JD5 is like James Wood. Might be some screws loose up there, but if there are, I don't give a shit. Okay, they're not the most social of guys. They don't care about publicity. They don't care about fame. They're there to be the best of their sport. Okay, they're dogs. They're not going to be sitting on TV one day talking about the sport. They're not very opinionated, from what I've heard. They're just young guys trying to go out there and have a great time. The only reason this is happening, unfortunately, is because of Ms. Jackson. She needs to relax. But JD5 needs to have that combo, and that cannot be a fun combo to have. Hey, Mom, I need you to not be saying and doing stupid shit. Sorry, but you have to have that combo. If Mahomes could do it, you could do it, JD5. He had to do it with two of his family members. And if they really do love you, I'm sure they will understand in the end.
Nope.
Because let's be real, we haven't heard a peep from Brittany Mahomes, I believe is her name.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard a peep from Jackson Mahomes in almost 3 years, legitimately. It went from stupid TikToks dancing on Sean Taylor's number on the field during his ceremony to nothing. For 3 years, not a peep.
Nothing.
Shout out Mahomes for taking care of his business, handling what he needs to handle. It's time for JD5 to grow up and have that convo. Okay, because although it's not him pulling the strings, it all comes back to him. He's JD5.
A little bit.
Okay, he's like the CEO. It all comes back to him. All right, let's move. Yeah, he's got to say, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. But let's be for real. Let's be for real here. Let's be quiet. All right, cool. Loud off-season Krabs concerning, yes, for sure. But I'm a believer in, you don't want to have a good off-season. You really don't. Do you want to play your best ball in practice? You want to use up your best reps? You want to put your best tape out there in practice? Come on,
I can't.
Come on. You don't want to play well in the spring. You want to play like shit, right? It's like you got to, I don't know. We're going up to the track this weekend, right? You got a horse. These are animals, right? These are not cars. These are not machines. These are animals. They might as well be people, right? You only got a certain amount of stamina in that horse. Okay, that horse gets out to, a nice start. You're chalked.
Yeah.
You're chalked.
You're not
9
wrong.
times out of 10.
Well,
How many
depends,
times does
but
a horse run in first the entire race?
Not often.
Couple percent. Right? To go, what do they call that?
Wire to wire.
You're wire to wire. You're winning the entire race.
Yeah.
The amount of times that's happened in a race I've watched, I can count on one hand. You don't want to be playing good ball right now. You don't want good things coming out of camp. What, do you want these guys extra fat, happy, and complacent heading into the season? You kidding me? Have you seen the Commander's schedule? They need to be battle tested. They need to already go through adversity. And you know what? Maybe JD5 is doing this on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Get some bad juju out there. Get some, some bad words out there about the team and him. And next thing you know, expectations are lowered.
He probably listened to your rant about how you don't want to be playing good baseball too early. And he's like,
You don't.
I got to get on the Krabs train here and get some.
You don't want to play good too early. Like the Nats.
Shit out there.
Yeah, that's baseball.
The Nats peaked. The Nats peaked too early, right? They peaked before the trade deadline, and now they're on fumes the rest of the year.
Yep.
Right? It's a marathon, not a sprint, folks. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Just got my Chipotle BOGO. Today's going to be a great day. That's Cap, Jamie Lowe. There's no BOGO deal today. If there was, I'd be going in tomorrow. Commanders are going to be the Nats on the football field, TBH. So they're going to overperform and overexceed expectations and beat some teams they shouldn't and impress some people? Cool.
If they do that, that's probably a pretty good season.
I'm in.
All right, let's move.
Let's move. No recaps today. Let's get into some plays. We do have a couple golf polos left, and we do have a couple, not many, nails hats left. If you want to cop some golf merch, I'd do it today. We're about to sell out of this stuff. So if you want to cop a polo, you want to cop a hat, now is the time. Links are in the chat. Now or never, folks. Now or never. Okay? Dubs. Chat needs another 24-hour stream. You guys get us to 2K subs during the stream today. We'll do another 24 hour.
You keep just putting numbers on.
If they get 1,000 subs
We
today,
don't have time to splooge for 8 million subs.
if they have 1,000 subs today, we will give them a 24-hour stream.
Sure.
Come on.
Sure.
1,000.
Sure.
Coots, that is so many. That's double. That is doubling our net worth. Come on. That ain't happening.
Let's move.
All right, let's get into the Sharp report for today. We'll go ahead and get right into it. I got a play that I love, and it starts out on the gridiron. It's the Titans. Titans are minus 5.5 today. Seen them up to 6 as well, some places. This one's going to be a bloodbath. That's a huge spread for the preseason. You don't see spreads that big, especially when a team like the Tennessee Titans are playing. Especially when a team like the Tennessee Titans are playing the 49ers. Well, Kyle Shanahan seems to have his hands full. Is he out of the hospital? Do we know what's going on with him? Can he see? Right? What's going on with Kyle Shanahan's? We don't know. Who knows? Do you think Kyle Shanahan's will be as locked in for the preseason today, with everything going on off the field? And
The fact that half of his team is also already hurt.
The whole team is already hurt. So you got the crazy, power plant narrative down the street that's turning everybody's, tendons into tenderism, and everything's just falling off the bone. This is the preseason here, folks, and the Niners have been here before. The Niners are veteran squads. What do they have to prove, man? Right? What's a position battle going on in San Fran that really matters? Is there even one on the entire team, offense, defense, special teams? I don't think so. Pretty sad.
Yeah.
What do you need to prove, right? Like Jovan said, you already have some serious injuries at this point of the season. Hasn't even started yet, which is probably a good thing, honestly, for the Niners. Because, again, you don't want to be playing good yet. San Fran is going to be going through the motions. Their goal in this game today is to survive. Okay, their goal is to have as little of injuries as possible. That's a win for this team. Not points, not scoring, not playing defense. Surviving. That is the Niners' game plan for tonight. What's the Titans' game plan for tonight? It's the opposite. The Titans need to go out there and impress some people. They need to go out there and show something, okay, to themselves, to the fans, to their loved ones, to their new coach, right? And I'm sure Coach wants to go out there and get a win in his first preseason game as well. I think the Titans go out there, keep their foot on the gas. This young team where there are a ton of position battles, a ton of rookies, a QB who knows how long Cam Worrell will play, but he'll be playing. Oh, yeah. He's not good enough to sit tonight. He'll be playing. Maybe it's a drive, maybe not. Either way, you've got some players who are going out there in an extremely important matchup tonight for their futures, for their careers, right? You want to talk about Will Levis. Horrendous. One of the worst. It's a big night for Will Levis.
Yeah.
And whether he goes out there and hucks that thing and shines and thrives, leads to some points, or whether he goes out there and hands the rock off, 20 times, and we see them move the ball that way. I think the Titans are going to have their way with it against this Niners team that's, again, they're showing up to check a deliverable off the box, to play, to collect their minimal preseason game check, which I'm assuming is a lot smaller than a normal one, and go home. Okay, survive. Well, the Titans' game plan tonight is to thrive, and that's a team I want my coins on. A 5.5, 6.5 spread, 5.5, 6 I'm seeing now. That is absurd in the preseason. And this is the Titans we're talking about here, folks. I think Vegas is tipping their hands, and I want in. Titans win by a tutty or more.
Sure.
I don't know if the Niners are scoring, to be honest.
That would be yes.
I don't know if they are.
How about that call?
Yep. I don't know why we say that and give that guy any attention. He's probably literally getting a hard on hearing that. But let's swing it around to Jovan's plays. He's got a CFL wager.
Start us off. Thursday Night Football. Fuck the preseason. Not actually, because I do have Square in the preseason. But BC Lions tonight. We do not have Caden Salter at quarterback anymore. He's gone as of last week. Nathan Rourke is back, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the CFL. So he was ready to sling it. They actually didn't look very good last week in his return. He still threw for a bunch of yards, as he always does in the CFL, depending on who they're playing for the most part. But they played Hamilton, who is dog shit, and had a first-time starting quarterback, Harrison Frost, come over from the UFL and make his first start. They eked out a win by 3 points. So certainly not their best performance. I believe they were pushing on like double-digit favorites after he officially got announced as playing Nathan Rourke. So not a good performance from them, but now they get to play Calgary. Great matchup of quarterbacks, but Calgary, if we looked at what happened last week, even in a loss, that was the infamous Vernon Adams-Chad Kelly game where Chad Kelly threw them, absolute Stevies, 4 interceptions. They got handed pretty much everything. The offense didn't move as well as probably they should have, scoring 30 points in that game, partially because the pick six was involved in 7 of those, but they got handed everything from Chad Kelly. Still couldn't get there. The issue is, same thing we were talking about with, I think, Chad Kelly pass yards. That day was like the last day of BTL that we had.
Mm-hmm.
The secondary is bad. They give up the most big plays in the CFL. So when it comes to a guy who can actually take advantage of that, which now that Nathan Rourke and another receiver, Stanley Berryhill, is back in the fold for them, they had their kind of 1 week to kind of get back in rhythm and get the offense back together. And again, they didn't look fantastic doing it. Scored 27 points, but for Rourke against Hamilton, that's really not great of an output.
Mm-hmm.
They've had their time to get it together. I think they're going to absolutely splooge in this one. You're getting, I guess, a handful of points because nobody really knows what's going to happen with this team, this BC team, especially going on the road against Calgary, a team they've already lost to earlier this year. But I think this is the perfect spot to get in on Nathan Rourke and BC as a dog. So I'll be taking +4.5 today.
Cool.
And on the ML.
And on the ML, folks, get involved. You got plenty of football going on tonight. Wow, crazy note I just got. Jackson Rutledge signs with NPB's Kukakara SoftBank Hawks.
Probably teammates with Ogasara soon.
Yeah.
Jackson Rutledge, who was a top 100 prospect in baseball. He was a Team USA member.
Yep.
Horrendous.
Horrendous.
Watch him pitch. He's horrendous. Take good care of him over there. Pega, don't worry. Yeah, I will not forget that Bucky's review. Thank you. Good work. Yeah, it's been a busy week, man. All right. We'll see how Jackson Rutledge does. Jovan, I like that sell job, my man. BC Lions +4.5. Gootsy, do me a favor, swing it around. Sticks. Look, guys, this is not mom and pop sticks. Okay, they don't have... Who was the GOAT they had on their team for years? Ella Deladon.
Deladon.
Hall of Famer, unbelievable. Doug Dibadome, Ella Deladon. Incredible ball player. I mean, just off the field, on the field. You never had any issues. A leader. Just a great ball player, really. Fundamental. One of the GOATs. One of the best to ever play the game.
Yep.
Right? You can make an argument, you know. What do they call it? First ballot Hall of Famer. She should be.
Yep.
You should be. This ain't your mom and pop Sticks. The Sticks have been a great WNBA team, you know, since I've really followed the league. I don't know when they started, to be honest, but since I followed them, they've been pretty solid. Last couple years have been a little harder on the Sticks, right? They lose, you know, Doug Dibadome, Deladon, and, you know, it's kind of a rebuild a little bit for the Sticks. Well, I like what they're rebuilding. I like the pieces they have. I like Georgia Amor. I like Sonia Citron. I like this young core. I really do. And I think this Sticks team can impress some people. I think they can shock some people. And they're pretty streaky. And Shakira Austin as well. Got to shout her out. She has been unbelievable.
So good.
Unbelievable ball player for the Sticks down low. This team is young. This team is fun. This team is surprising some people. This team is playing really good basketball right now. This team is fun. And this team just lost to the Aces in their last game. Before that, though, Jovan, they were hot, man. They were winners of 4 in a row. Playing really good ball, post-All-Star break, doing their thing, pulling off upsets, covering like no other. Aces, they kind of put a stop to that little Mystics run, and they beat them by 10 in that last game at home, which was literally 2 days ago. Well, they're running it back. Looks like the Aces, home once again. Sticks are staying around in Vegas. Hope they had some fun, but not too much fun. Because we need them locked in tonight. Plain and simple. Okay, let's hope they weren't at the tables like Trent until 5 a.m. Let's hope they were locked in. And look, I'm sure they are with leaders in that clubhouse like Georgia Amor. So you got the Sticks down from 8.5 to 6.5. They just lost by 10. They opened up the spread around the same as it was 2 days ago. I think the Sticks are sharp. I think they bounce back. And even if they don't win, I think they make this a ball game and they keep it close. I wish I was in Vegas right now for this shit. I wish we could fly to Vegas and then from Vegas to Toronto, dude, because that would be one heck of a detour for this game tonight. In the Michelob Ultra Arena.
I would never do
This
that.
is game of the night.
You are
any sport.
You are just.
John's over here talking about Canadian football like a traitor. I'm over here supporting a USA, a Made in America brand. Unbelievable.
Okay.
As I'm going to Toronto tonight.
Yeah, literally flying to Canada.
Sure. Forgot about that part. All right. Cool. Anything else to add about the Sticks? Because they are a consensus quake, which means we can't take them for the squad ride.
Yeah. I'll add, going into that first game against the Mystics, a really shit spot for the Mystics. Not only because they had won a bunch in a row and you're going to play the Aces in Las Vegas on a road trip, but also before that, for only the first, or actually second time since 2020, the Aces lost back-to-back games by double digits. Going into that game, they lost by 11 to the Lynx on the road. Then they got absolutely pounded on the road by 40 against the Liberty. Doesn't happen very often for the Aces. So going into that game, coming back home, playing the Mystics who are red hot, kind of a telegraphed outcome. And I'm sure we probably would have discussed it on BTL had we had BTL then. But now, coming off of that, especially now that this is not only a rematch, but a game that I think you're going to see a little better shooting from the Mystics, even though they're not a shooting team. They come with size, but I think they're going to defend them very well. Again, we have all the size on the inside between Shakira, Kiki, like all of those girls are going to be perfectly fine against everybody not named Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson's going to get hers. She always does. But again, just a terrible spot in that first matchup against the Aces. Now that you've not only seen them once, had the outcome once, but you get to stay there and do it right after again. Now's where you hop in on the sticks.
Yep. Buy low if you still can. Buy your stick stock today.
Sticks.
Okay, buy your Bookit polos, buy your Bookit hats, and buy your sticks stock.
Sticks stock.
Okay.
Just.
Cool. Let's keep moving. We got Gav coming in with a 20 stream streak. W's. Appreciate you guys. W. Raekwon in the chats. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday. We will, this will be our only BTL of the week this week. But on Monday, we'll be back and we'll have a full week next week. Talking football and talking best bets for the day. Okay. Full week next week. Get ready. Yeah, let's finish today strong. Goots, I got one more straight bet. Let's swing it around. Brew Crew late night tonight. Fading the Dodgers. Fading Sasaki. Look, the Dodgers, man, they've won 4 of their last 5. You know how many of those games they've covered on the run line?
Not very many. This was what
last night.
Yesterday was the first one in like 10 games or something.
Yeah.
Crazy. Travis, you're
Yeah, he was posted about it. I know he's not tracking it, but somebody's tracking it.
Skywalker's
minus
there now.
1.5.
Yeah.
W Skywalker. And the Dodgers are not your Meemaw and Peepaw's Dodgers, man. You know, they add Tariq Skubal. They're obviously stacked, roster-wise, but I can guarantee you this Dodgers team is not winning the World Series. If you believe they are, you're not watching their games. You're not watching this team. Everything looks off. The vibes are off. Team's not the same. They're not as dominant as they were in recent years. And again, I know you don't want to be playing your best ball yet, but I haven't seen them play their best ball ever yet this season. They've looked like shit all year, damn near. Team looks off. And I think they're beatable. Now, they have won 4 of their last 5 games, but like I just said, they've only won 1, by more than 1 run. And yeah, sure, they're coming out of their little slump that they were just in, and they are winning. A lot of those games were in a 1-run game that they won. Brewers, on the other hand, they've lost 3 in a row. The Brew Crew has lost, 3 games in a row. I still like this Brewers team, and I like Drohan a lot, man. I'm a big Drohan fan. Drohan has not been great of late. He honestly got mucked up pretty bad in his last start, but I think he bounces back today. I thought that plus 115 opener for the Brewers and Drohan was pretty crazy. If you go look at some of his prize pick squares, which we'll talk about here in a moment, you would probably agree with me that they are extremely green and nasty and weird looking and look like the easiest more thans you can click probably on the board. Sasaki, on the other hand, Sasaki has shown flashes this year. Sasaki's had a couple decent outings, but overall, I'm not impressed by Sasaki, who is going to be a future reliever in this league. And until you can't cry after a bad start, I'm not a fan of yours. So Sasaki, kind of soft. I think the Brew Crew can put up some really good at-bats, and they can get to him early. I'll take Milwaukee first 5 plus a half. If the game is tied, we still cash this wager, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think Sasaki gets mucked up. I think Drohan outperforms and outpitches him and has a pretty decent outing and bounce back performance. And then the Brew Crew take care of business, and they put up some really good at-bats early, and they score first, and they score multiple times in the first couple innings, and they end up covering the first 5 run line. So give me the Brew Crew first 5 plus a half. I will fade the Dodgers coming off this Mickey Mouse fake, 4 out of 5 wins in a row. And then I will take the Brewers to end their little mini 3-game losing streak.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I'm in.
You got one more straight bet here for the peeps.
Got to go to corn, assuming this game happens, because I know there's some weather concerns. Hopefully this doesn't end up like what was it?
Was a Little League game?
No, Reds Braves. Where was that game?
Oh.
What track?
Oh.
The racing track.
Oh, Bristol.
Bristol.
Yes.
Hopefully
Bristol
we don't have a Speedway game. We don't have a repeat of that. But
yeah, that was bad.
That was bad. That was horribly managed. But hopefully this game tonight doesn't end the same. I did not read too deep into exactly what they expect, but regardless, I'm taking the Twins tonight. And a game that you never really know. Like the MLB could fully decide, just like the Yankees-White Sox game, just to bring out the juice balls for no reason. Not for no reason, because they want an entertaining game if that happens. Aaron Nola's on the mound, so swing away Twins, because the ball's going to go very far and over the fence a lot of times. But the fences are short there a little bit, both height-wise and actually in a little bit, more so height-wise. But if we're talking about in that situation and in the situation in general, who long ball is going to hurt more? 100% going to be Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola is a bad pitcher, and I've continued to fade him in a lot of spots so far this year. He's been sharp to, I guess, back in some spots. I guess coming off of a couple like decent outings for his standards, it's not really a sharp spot to back him anyway. But I think the Twins are going to hit him up in this one. And Taj Bradley, you can say he has his own fly ball issues of his own, but a lot of that comes against righties, and a lot of that comes off of anything that's not his fastball. His fastball against lefties has been dominant. So when you look at obviously the number one guy that you're scared of in the Phillies lineup in Kyle Schwarber, the fact that you have a couple lefties in there when you're talking about the Phillies that can really do damage, and the fact that Taj is allowing just over 200 to lefties compared to like 240 against righties, been nails against lefties for the most part, kind of dumbs it down a little bit. So combine that with, some of the squares you see up, I think Taj is going to have a pretty solid outing. What you need against the Phillies is strikeout stuff, and he certainly has that. You need a good fastball that can keep it on the ground a little bit, which when he does it against lefties, he can do that. So I do think it's overall like a pretty solid matchup for Taj, and I could put 9 Krabs out there and say it's a pretty bad matchup for Aaron Nola, so I'm sticking to that. And then God forbid this gets into the back half of like super weird, maybe there's a rain delay or something in there, but super weird bullpen stuff. Twins bullpen is not better than the Phillies by any stretch, but in terms of the guys they have available today, like their longer relief guys, if they need it in case of rain delay, are pretty rested and available today. And don't know if you can necessarily say the same for the Phillies. I think their back end is in a much better shape than the other guys. So this turns out to be a madness game. I do kind of actually like the Twins to take advantage of it. Out of the fact, I know it's Aaron Nola, but to pick them. Talking about Twins Phillies in a standalone game, Field of Dreams game, which, by the way, how the fuck did somebody pick that to be the game? But standalone game, and it's a pick between Twins Phillies. I think that I could have said that alone and took the Twins.
Sure. I mean, let's be honest here, though. The Phillies have been really, really bad.
They have.
Really, 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 really bad. They scored 1 run in their last 2 games. They have not covered a game in a week. They were favorites in every single one. They squeaked out 2 1-run wins, one against the Cards, one against Toronto. But if you watched or tuned in any of these games for the Phillies, they have been an embarrassment. You got 3, former Nats, that have just been passed around, starting out that lineup. 3 guys that can't win. If they did, they would have stayed on the Nats, or they would have gotten paid. Or they'd have a ring already on Philly, right? They don't. You start a lineup out with Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, you should probably have a ring by now, right? You don't.
You'd think.
Yeah. So you're a joke of an organization. You're a joke of a team, to be honest. So you're playing terrible. You're probably going to fade off here. You might not even make the playoffs, which would be pretty impressive with how bad MLB is overall this year and how there's not really good teams. Typical Phillies, right? A team that's fun and cool on the surface, but a team that never wins. A team that has a bunch of losers on the squad. A team that has a guy like Bryce Harper who's all talk, but will he even be standing next year with his diet? What I'm hearing, the guy lives off of coffee and rice cakes. I don't know if the guy has any energy left. That's why he has no pop left. Trey Turner in big moments. Trey Turner in big moments poops down his leg, and you can see it on his cleats. Any big game in the playoffs, that guy has an error every single time. He's minus 1,000 to have an error. And the bat disappears in the playoffs. Kyle Schwarber, you can make an argument, maybe the only guy that's won anything since he won one on the Cubs, but he wasn't even good back then. He's a whole different player than he was back then when he won a ring. He's changed. And he sacrificed winning for his own me guy success. It's kind of what it seems like. So, Jovan, to be honest, I'm not surprised to see them get in line disrespect. I think they're a shit team. It doesn't win. I do
too.
But I hear you, because the Twins aren't a good team.
I was also looking back at some of the Nola lines, because Nola gets a weird amount of respect all the time. Like, so basically, he's been really good outside of a Dodgers start for like the past month. In that Dodger start, which was against Eric Lauer, but he was plus 100. He was even money.
Yep.
It's like it's essentially the same line now, and like he was minus 150 against the Nats. Granted, again, Alvarez, they're minus 170 against Max Scherzer and the Jays. Like minus 130 against Christian Scott and the Mets. It's like this one feels very out of place in terms of line respect, I would say, because he usually gets it. He's not getting it today. I mean, I have more respect for the Twins than I guess maybe the market would, and a lot of people just who don't really watch the Twins do, because they've been better than people realize. But pretty much pick them is interesting.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. Yeah, Trey Turner does have a handout ring on the Dodgers, sure, if you want to count that one. He did do shit for that team. He was atrocious. And by the way, he hits 250 career in the postseason and has multiple games with multiple errors. So when the lights are bright, he gets worse. He's one of those guys. I prefer guys who, when the lights are bright, you get better, right? That's a real leader. That's an alpha. The Phillies have 3 fake alphas. They got 3 betas at the top of that order. And that's why they'll never win, right? That's why the Phillies, just like the Yankees, you got guys who are good on paper, roster talent-wise. You don't have winners.
No winners.
You don't have winners. If you had winners, you would have won by now. If you had winners, you'd win. You don't win. All right, W Wagslocks coming in with a subby here. Let's move. And let's groove. Okay. All right. Squares. Matt Freese, less than 2.5 saves. Big game.
What in the fuck?
Big game for Mr. Matt Freese. This is the second most popular square for this category. He's up for 2.5 goalie saves. And again, the chart, who knows if the charts are right? Who knows what league or whatever is going on there with the matchups? I don't really give a shit. It's a green square. I'm fading it. I'm taking the less than on Prize Picks. It's the second most popular square. And the guy's had 1 million saves in every game. It looks like to me that the team he's opposing today, Necaxa?
Yeah, Necaxa.
Necaxa must not have a great offense because the fact that this 2.5 goals allowed square is up is insane. So
no, they don't.
I'm assuming NYCFC is going to win this game 3. Not that I'm assuming they're a huge favorite. I'm assuming the total's low.
Minus 150 fave. They're, I think, the second biggest favorite.
Yeah.
I can double check that of the game today. I think the Union are the only bigger one.
Wow.
Unless I'm mistaken.
Might need to bet on them as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting shit on this week, too. He was crying in the media.
For what? What could a soccer goalie possibly be crying about to the media?
World Cup shit.
He didn't play.
Yeah.
Okay. He was the backup?
Yeah,
he was the backup, and I think a lot of people expected him to start. He was saying, like, I don't know the exact quotes, but I was scrolling through earlier, and I saw it. He was like, yeah, it took a toll on me. People didn't believe in me, yada, yada, yada. Bitch.
That's baseball. Me personally, if I felt like that, I'd go talk to my manager in his office during the World Cup. I wouldn't wait till afterwards to cry about it to the media. That's just me. I don't know who's right or who's wrong, but that's just me. I would never do that. That's a shit teammate, and that's a me guy. And that's why we're fading him and taking his less than saves today. We've also got another square up there on the boards. We've got Shane Drohan. I'm a big Drohan fan. I like this kid. He's coming off a terrible game. He's been pretty bad of late, to be honest with you. He's not been sharp. Drohan is up for a slew of squares that are interesting. He has a 24.5 fantasy score against the best team ever in baseball history after he had 9 against the Twins. He's got a 4.5 Ks after he had 4 in that last game, a 16.5 pitching outs after he only went 15. He's usually pretty good to give some length to this Brewers ball club. He also gave up 6 runs to the Twins in that last start. He's also given up more than 2.5 earned runs allowed in 4 of his last 5 starts. The only one that he didn't was against the Angels, and they are such a bad ball team that one doesn't even really count. So I'm expecting Drohan to go out there and limit the walks. He had 4 last game, which is an anomaly for him. Typically, he's very good at keeping the free passes to a minimum on the diamonds, and I think he goes out there and does his job today. I think he goes out there and out-pitches, outperforms, outduels Roki Sasaki, who's been good at times this year, but we know he can certainly go out there and have a blow-up start. And against this veteran Brewers team that likes to see some pitches and put up some good at-bats, I think that's a nightmare for Sasaki, and I think Shane Drohan outperforms and outduels him today. So I'm taking his less than 2.5 earned runs allowed square, which is an absurd square against the Dodgers. I'm taking him to go out there and shove.
Sure.
Set the tone. Try to end this little 3-game losing streak.
Yeah.
For the Brew Crew. Okay? Cool. Jovan, you got 2 squares. I'll drop the link while you give your sell jobs.
I do. Can, I guess, start at the bottom. Probably should have put it at the top, but the easy one, because I've already kind of sold it. Nathan Rourke, 339.5 pass yards.
Okay.
One that, like, very well could be a slow burn. I don't really think it's going to because he slings the rock and throws the ball 50,000 times, but same thing as Chad Kelly last week. They allow the most explosive plays in the pass game of the league. That's what their secondary has been giving up all year. Now this is going to be the healthiest that this BC offense has been in almost 2 months now, not just because Nathan Rourke is back in the fold and he's already had a game under his belt, but he's getting back one of his slot back receivers too. So I think this is as close as you've gotten to full strength BC offense for a while. And when that offense is actually healthy, it's fucking electric. So in a game that I do think they're going to win and cover, I think it's going to be because they just absolutely gash Calgary through the air a bunch. And the run game is not really a huge thing because James Butler, who's the running back, is also back, and he was back last week but wasn't fully healthy, so he wasn't even like starting that game. So I don't know, between him and Horvath, I don't think they're really going to gash Calgary. Plus Calgary's run defense is pretty solid, so you're going to have to slug it through the air. Again, 340, just like Chad Kelly in the CFL, is not like 340 in the NFL.
It's nothing.
Then back to preseason, Deion Burks.
Okay.
I wanted to take something, whether it was one of the quarterbacks that are playing in this game for the Colts or one of the receivers, because everybody knows the storyline. Anthony Richardson's going to play the first half. Riley Leonard's going to play the second half. God knows if this is like, if AR has any shot of being like a guy that actually stays around in this, or if this is just pretty much an audition for a trade. Who really knows? But regardless, obviously the motivation is there for him to show out. And then Riley Leonard is either feeling pretty comfortable in like the QB2 spot, or they're in a battle of it for some sorts. But same thing could be said for both guys. If you paid attention to Riley Leonard, both in the games he actually played, especially the Texans game, which was crazy, ended last season, but also in the preseason. And the same thing for like Haynes King and a lot of those guys that are like known runners. They are chucking the ball deep because this is what they need to work on. This is their game. This is what the coaches want to see from them. So Riley Leonard's been taking deep shots whenever he's gotten on the field, whether it was preseason or not for the Colts so far. AR, we know exactly what he's going to do. Explosive plays or bust. Who's one of the guys, because the Colts wide receiver room is pretty thin. Obviously, you're not going to see the starters in this one. You're not going to see like Pierce. You're not going to see Downs. Probably not like Doolin. Maybe you see Gold, but like there's a lot of rookies that are getting a chance to prove themselves. And I think I want to go with a guy who I think has the chance to be like super explosive over the top and catch this in one play. Deion Burks. You can make an argument for a couple of guys, whether it's him or like Coleman Owen also has one on the board from Ohio. Shout out, he's goated. But I think this is the perfect like rookie showcase for a lot of these wide receivers who I also think are going to play a lot. Okay, so I was trying to think who is going to catch the AR deep bomb, or who is going to be the recipient of broken play, Riley Leonard 30 yards down the field strike highlight reel that you see on the NFL Twitter. Came to the same answer for both of those, and it's Deion Burks.
Okay. Mr. Deion fucking. I mean, you'd think they wouldn't sign him to go out there and do nothing in the whole preseason. So
probably not.
Yeah.
There also was a tweet, I guess, a couple days ago that I did see, which was also one of the reasons I want to take a receiver. Dude said healthy Colts receivers for today's joint practice against the Patriots. This was Tuesday. Deion Burks, Anthony Gold, Coleman Owen, Nick Westbrook-Ikine. Those are the only four. So I assume you're going to see a couple more of like the lower rookie guys out of that, but to only have four is pretty interesting.
That's weird.
So PT is probably going to be high for a lot of their guys.
Okay. Good. Hope so. That can only help. Chad, if you guys want to tail the Sharp Report format, the PLL slate this weekend is loaded. Very excited for PLL. We have Kyron Drones football tonight, folks. Kyron Drones will be playing NFL football tonight. Appreciate you guys bringing that up in the chat. Yes. Cannot wait. Okay. No, we do not have anything on the early games yet. Let's talk about those really quick, and then we'll get to the NFL and college football talk for today. We have two early games today. Four, actually. We have Cleveland, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Miami, Cincy, Chicago, Seattle, New York. Any plays, any winners? We could start with Cleveland, Detroit, Parker Messick versus Montero. Thoughts?
I mean, just off of first look at that game, line looks a little short, I'll say. Parker Messick is nails. So nails.
Yeah.
And Kyder's been really good too, but he's been getting semi-exposed lately. Not that he's been like fucking terrible. He's still rocking a 3.38, but he's had a couple of really bad starts. His last one against the Giants, where he gave up 5, was bad. The one before the Orioles, or against the Orioles, 2 starts before that was bad. So he's shoved against bad offenses and been good against good ones, oddly. So I don't really know. I don't really know what to do here.
Okay.
But the line in my head definitely says Tigers. I hate that series.
Yeah.
Hate it.
But the total was open pretty high at 8.5.
8.5 is an interesting one, yeah. Definitely a touch high. Maybe that's a little Kyder baked in, but if it was Kyder baked in, they probably wouldn't be just about plus money. Plus 100.
Yeah. I like the over, to be honest. Am I betting it? No. You should never bet never. Ever.
Yeah.
But I do like it.
Never says Krabs.
Never bet never once. Big Cheesy says, I'm going to Alexandria, Virginia for work next month. Big Cheesy, that's awesome. You got to get a Virtue feeding grain. And you got to get the sandwich called. Brain isn't working.
Nuke's Q?
No, although Nuke's Q's are fire. No, it is it's like a beef sandwich that you dip in the au jus sauce.
French dip?
French dip.
Yeah.
You got to get a Virtue feeding grain, VIRTUE, Virtue feeding grain. Sit upstairs. It's a great vibe. And get that delicious sandwich. Please. Big Cheesy, let me know how it is. Okay. Awesome. W Prize Pick Squares here. W Sharp Report format. I did put the link to those as well in the chat. I'll do it again for you guys. I would take the over in Detroit if I had to take a play in that first baseball game, but I'm not betting it. What about Ashcraft versus Phillips? I'm seeing a lot of, I can't believe Pittsburgh's a favorite. I can't believe they're getting this respect. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Pittsburgh's absolutely terrible. They're a joke. The fact that we believed in this team, this organization for 1 second is like believing that Cinderella is real, or that Bigfoot is a real thing, right? You might as well believe in Bigfoot than believe in the Pirates, being a well-run organization. They found a way to kill Paul Skeens now, which is impressive because to kill Paul Skeens is insane. The guy is an absolute nailsman. Well, you got Ashcraft on the bump, who everybody loves. Ashcraft has been terrible, though, of late.
Yeah.
After the All-Star game, he's completely fallen off. Again, it's the hardest thing about pitching is pitching good consistently all season.
Yep.
Toughest part.
Pitching like Braxton Ashcraft now.
He's back. Phillips has been a nailsman as well. Phillips has been really good. So that's why you're seeing Miami barely as a dog here. These teams, Miami is a couple games over 500. Pittsburgh is a couple games under 500. And although people think Ashcraft is much better than Phillips, he's really not right now. And Miami's playing great ball right now. Miami is, winners of 4 games in a row. Pittsburgh's lost 4 of their last 5. I think Miami's the play again. I think you keep betting them. You ride the hot hand there. And I don't think Pittsburgh should be bet on ever. They're an absolute joke. Their offense is an absolute travesty. They kill Paul Skeens. Everything they do is wrong.
Yeah, pretty much. I agree.
Cincy, Chicago, Abbott, Martin. I don't have any reads in this one that I really like, to be honest. I think I would probably click and pray and take Cincy on the ML with Abbott, but
agreed.
I don't love it whatsoever.
Davis Martin is just bad right now.
Yeah.
He got bailed out on his last start, because I think his last start was the one that they started for a second because they're idiots. Yeah, against Cleveland. It was him against Cantillo, and there were storms, like crazy storms, that they had no shot of getting the game in. Then they started for an inning and stopped it. So he gave up, I think, a run or 2 in the first inning, and then cruised after that because he wasn't in the game. So he got bailed out a little bit. You could say he's extra rested or whatever, so he's probably going to go deeper into this game. I don't know if that's a good thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's been terrible.
Okay. And then real quick, Seattle versus New York. Logan Gilbert, Max Fried. Thoughts?
God, I hate Logan Gilbert sometimes. This is like the spots that he shoves, though. Whenever Logan Gilbert, maybe Hancock can be included in that, but it's really Logan Gilbert and Kirby. Then maybe 2.5 guys in Hancock. Whenever they're in obvious spots, like in Seattle, to shove with a golden matchup, auto 3 turkeys first 2 innings. Whenever they're on the road as dogs and nobody wants them, that's when they have their best performances. It's like I would not hate a sneak M's look. I just hate that team.
Yeah.
But maybe an under.
Another total that I thought opened up incredibly high. I know it's in Yankee Stadium, not Seattle, but the 8.5 opener I know was juiced to the under. But 8.5 last night with Gilbert and Max Fried on the bump. Gilbert's been nails. Fried has a sub-3 RA. I think it's runs.
I will say, like, Fried weirdly doesn't get much total respect. Like, I think every single game he pitches, it opens up higher than it probably should.
Yep.
So not that you're wrong, because you're right. But it might be just a permanent Fried thing. I don't know why. I don't know why the books do that with him.
Yeah. And the way the Yankees offenses look, Ben Rice has 1 hit in the entire month of August.
We saw it.
Worst hitter we've ever seen.
Yep. Shout out Trent.
Seattle's lost 5 in a row. Why this total open up at 8.5? We're getting runs.
Yeah, we might. I could see it. Get away early game runs.
Mm-hmm. All right, awesome. Well, that's our day game baseball talk. If you missed it or joined late, you can go back and always rewatch on the YouTube. You can rewind on that puppy. We appreciate our YouTube viewers over here. I see a lot of you goats. Jovan, yo, what's up, A? We got Raw Lens, Ace Aspen, Sterna. Appreciate you guys holding down the YouTube and doing your thing.
Hold it down.
Okay. Little slump happens all the time. Josh Mitty, look up his stats the last 3 months. He went from hitting almost over 300 the whole season. The last 3 months, he hit, I'm trying to remember the graphic. It was like 150, 100, and then now he's hitting 0.05 or 0.04 in the month of August. He has 1 hit in 13 days. He is not in a slump. No.
This is like,
that's not a slump.
It's like the PCA thing from last year, because PCA was good for 2 months. Yeah. And he was the worst player in baseball for the entire rest of the season. At some point, like, the anomaly was the good part, not the bad part.
Holy shit.
It's June and July, or in August, that have been bad.
Yeah.
June, July, and August.
June, July, and August.
Yep. Really, really bad.
July 271 isn't bad.
Yeah, not bad.
I must have saw something different then.
He had
196 in June.
19 ribbies. Yeah, I mean, the real thing here is second half, he's batting 178. Yeah. First half, 279.
In other news that actually matters, unlike Ben Rice's statistics, Arby's steak nuggets are returning to the menu nationwide for a limited time starting August 24th.
I guess the Big Ten.
I will never accept the steak nuggets propaganda.
We'll have to get them. These bite-sized, hand-cut pieces of smoked steak are seasoned with garlic and pepper. You can taste it. Yep. Served with they're served with a new dipping sauce coming. Oh my gosh, horsey ranch. So it's like the horsey sauce with ranch.
You're dipping that on steak.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
God, I can't with crabs, bro.
Horseradish sauce is elite on steak. That's what it's made for. Now the ranch, we'll say.
Was horseradish made for steak?
Yes.
Is it?
1,000%.
Is it?
A delicious horseradish sauce with your steak is the only thing I can think of in my brain that you even use horseradish for.
I've never seen horseradish on steak one time.
Chat.
Am I tripping?
It's literally made for roast beef and prime rib.
Prime rib, I've seen it plenty.
Prime rib is steak. I don't like prime rib, but it's steak.
Oh, it's not steak. It's different. It's so different than steak.
Yeah, you're right. It's chicken.
It's beef.
What are we doing?
It's beef.
Can we move? I don't care about Arby's. I care about the Big Ten.
Big Ten.
Prime rib is not a steak. It is a large bone-in roasted cooked slowly as a single piece. However, it comes from the exact same part of the cow as a ribeye. But it's not technically a steak. Again, that makes no fucking sense to me.
Just what I'm saying.
That being said, let's go ahead and move on here. Let's get to the college football talk. I believe we're going to talk some Big Ten here first.
Big Ten.
The Big Ten, the conference of winners, what the SEC wants to be, right? The SEC's got a bunch of dudes who couldn't, get higher than a 1,400 on the SATs, talking like their shit doesn't stink. The Big Ten, I talk about how academics matters in the ACC all the time. Big Ten, I mean, you got some great schools.
You got some heavy hitters.
It's almost like a combo of the SEC and the ACC, where you got the academics and the brains from the ACC, but the actual good athletic abilities from the SEC.
Yeah.
It's a combo. And the Big Ten is hot right now. The Big Ten has won 3 natties in a row, and it'd be one thing if it was one dynasty. No, Jovan.
Three different teams.
3 different ball clubs have been the natty champions the last 3 years, all from the Big Ten. So, number one, I can guarantee a money-back guarantee the Big Ten does not win the national championship this year. Number two, the Big Ten deserves respect. The Big Ten should be talking their shit. Coach Cignetti should be talking his shit. This conference is a wagon, and there's some really good teams. There's some teams in this conference that people think are a shoe-in for the playoffs. They think are a guarantee to go to the natty, and they might even win the whole shebang. That's where you lose me. Okay? Because some of these teams are just a bit too square. Indiana, coming off a natty. Again, guys, what a story, what a year. What a team. The JMU Dukes with makeup on just won a national championship. You can't do that without a great coach. Can't. Well, I'll tell you right now, if you bet on a team after they just won their respective championship, you are a dog shit better. You are a horrendous sports better. If you're betting on a team that just won the Natty to win it again. Anybody know how many times a team, since we can't count, kind of like the Yankees of Notre Dame, we can't count all their championships from years past when there was only 8 teams back in 1930. I think we could all agree on that, right? It's a little bit of a different ballgame.
Yeah.
When's the last time a team has won a back-to-back ring in college football? How often does it happen? Anybody ring a bell?
Only Georgia. Recently.
Georgia's done it of late in our lifetime. I think that's it.
Bama
maybe when we were kids.
Yeah, like early
back-to-back,
early
though?
2010s. I think they did.
Back-to-back, though?
Other than those two, though, I don't know if there's been a recent one.
My point. I mean, it's hard to get to the top twice, man. I don't care who you are.
Difficult.
It's the hardest thing to do is to replicate success, right? This Indiana team, I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know why. Actually, I do know one game they're losing, for sure. We'll talk about the second one. 100%. I know a game they're 100% losing, and I think you do too.
Yep.
This Indiana team will take a step back. Then you got Oregon. Oregon is everybody's darling this year. Oh my God, they got Nike money. They've had Nike money for 4 years. How many championships they got? 0. Zip. Unless Phil Knight's going out there and lacing up his running shoes himself and running routes.
Still Dante Moore, quarterback.
Team doesn't have a shot. This Oregon team, they're cursed. You can spend all the money in the world. They still can't find a way to get it done. Ohio State, I think it has a real chance. We'll talk about them here in a moment. Ohio State's a team I think is going to win the Big Ten, right? They have the shortest odds by a decent chunk. If you're thinking about how people have been talking about Indiana and Oregon this offseason, Ohio State getting some serious respect. It's because they're going to run away with this thing this year. They're going to probably lose one game, maybe, if that. And they will take care of business in the Big 2-6. Give me Ryan Day. Give me Sayin. And give me the Buckeyes. They are my Big Ten winner. Not getting cute with this one. Taking the favorite, although they're not really people's favorites, but they're Vegas's favorite.
Yeah.
And anytime you see a team that's Vegas's favorite, but not the public's favorite or not Trent's favorite, bet that team to win their division. Bet that team to win their conference. And you're making coins more often than not. Plain and simple.
Yep. I'm in. They're also my Big Ten champion.
Yep.
I would be lying to you if I said I was in love with Julian Sand, because I'm definitely not. I think he is another overglazed quarterback in terms of there's a couple of them in the Big Ten, I guess, between the top couple teams there. But team around him is fantastic, and it's going to be. So, like, we look at their big 3 games in their schedule, Indiana, USC, Oregon. Not only are they not losing to Indiana, you got a bye week after that before you go to USC, and then you get Oregon at home. I think their best shot to lose a game is between one of those USC and Oregon games, and one probably wouldn't do it in terms of keeping them out of the championship game. Then they'll probably end up getting their lick back against said team if that happens.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in. Should we talk about our favorite win total overs?
Certainties.
Let's get right to it here, folks. Go ahead and give me the Wolverines.
It's the most Krabs win total ever. Everybody and the mother thinks his team's going to be dog shit.
Yep.
They're out on Bryce Underwood.
Yep. This Michigan team, right? They got a lot of hoopla this offseason. Obviously, their coach tried to, do some really stupid shit and got caught. And their coach is a loser. I'll be honest. I never liked the guy. He's a handout hire. Harbaugh gave his buddy his job, and handout hires, they typically don't work out very well. So I'm happy they're moving on to bigger and better things. They come in with, Utah's coach, Whittingham, I believe, and he's a great coach. I mean, he made Utah, what they are today with that defense. And that's what Michigan's defense is going to look like this year. Michigan's defense this year is going to be a wagon. Michigan's defense will be the second best defense in the Big Ten. Michigan's defense is going to carry this team in the Big 2-6. If it's not going to be Bryce Underwood, how are they going to do it? Right? Because with how everybody's talking about Michigan, their win total should be at 6, 6.5. Right? They don't have a chance. They're dead. Their QB sucks. They're past their prime. They don't have a Harbaugh to come in and save them, right? They don't have Portnoy coming in with NIL checks to, bring a new 5-star in that's actually good. He's not doing it again. He already spent his money on Underwood. How are they going to do it then? If it's not Underwood, how are they going to do it? It's defense. And that's what the Wolverines are built on. I know they've had Tom Brady. I know they've had J.J. McCarthy. They've had some great players, some great quarterbacks, some great offenses, sure. But they're built on defense, man. That's their bread and butter. That's what Michigan does.
Right.
They always have a great defense. They always have great D linemen. They will have that again this year. Their defense, they bring in some really good players I'm excited to see out there. A couple new starters, but they do have, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 returning starters from last year, which is huge. Some guys with some experience. So Michigan, who you can get at plus 150 damn near. Plus 140, plus 148, depends on what book you're looking at. Michigan, get a great price on that 8.5 win total, which I did think was a little high. Everybody's talking about this Wolverines team. I'm buying into Bryce Underwood. I'm buying into Coach Whittingham and this new team, this new culture. Culture couldn't be worse than what they had before. I mean, what a joke. Bad people running the team. Now you got some good people coming in to save it. That's a team I want to buy stock into. Give me the Wolverines. Not a single soul out of the 8 billion are back in the Wolverines this year, and that's how you know they're going to do something.
Yeah, it's the team you want.
The least public the Wolverines have ever been.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably in maybe a decade.
Yep.
Or a little less than a decade.
In my lifetime, it's the least talked about Michigan team I've ever seen.
Yeah. Or, I mean, probably
Since
most
I've had
talked
memories.
about. One of the most talked about, but for wrong reasons. Or opposite reasons.
One of the most hated, least respected
Yeah. It's a good
Michigan
way to-
teams
good
since
way
I've
to
had
put it.
memories. All right, can you give some background on the lore of this Maryland's win total with how last year went first before we get into...
Yeah. 4.5 win total. 4-0 to start. Lost the next 8. So shout out Locks for another
Classic.
4-8 season, 2 in a row.
Classic.
But I pay very close attention to like the teams that I invest in when this happens on a year-to-year basis. They don't hit their win total. There's a system play at 4.5 last year. Obviously, they won 4. Then the win total goes up when there's no major changes. Like obviously, a team like take a team out of thin air like LSU. Like if they don't hit their win total last year, which I'm sure they probably didn't.
Yep.
Then you see like a whole scheme change, player change. Like obviously, win totals are going to increase. Teams like Maryland, and for an example, last year, which is the same exact situation, teams like Cincinnati, who didn't hit their 5.5 win total the year before, got bumped up to 6.5. What happens? They win 7 games. They're on game day, best season they've had since the playoff, pretty much. Maryland, it's up to 5.5 this year. Why? I'll tell you why. One word: Malik Washington. The fucking truth. One of the best freshman quarterbacks sneakily last year. That was just in a dog shit situation. The one thing that he did have going for him, a lot of talent on offensive line. And it definitely helps that he doesn't take sacks. But the offensive line was fantastic, protected quarterback better than anybody actually in the Big Ten, which is a shocking stat to read. He had some play in that, of course, because he's a smart quarterback for a freshman as well. But he was great behind that offensive line. The weapons were an issue. The defense was an issue down the stretch. The defense got worse kind of as the season went on. They're a very boomer bust defense. They somehow ended up with 21 interceptions, which they forced the most like turnovers in all of the Big Ten, which again, crazy statement, I guess to say. But then they also were like the worst third down defense in college football history. So a lot of good, but much, much more bad. Plus the run game wasn't great. The weapons and the receiving game weren't great. What happens this year after those offensive lulls in the second half of the season? They bring in a couple new transfers. You get year 2 of Malik Washington where you're going to see a leap, and it definitely helps to see that leap behind a really good offensive line where he's not going to be under pressure 24/7. He's going to bring in a new, probably wide receiver run, Naeem Abdul-Rahim Gladding, who came over from Krabs' favorite school, ODU. He's been the number 1 target throughout camp, but you just got a lot going for this offense. This is going to be a very fun offense to watch. And if the defense really can be the slightest bit more serviceable, which, again, they bring a bunch of talent in that facet, much better than they had last year, especially in the defensive line and the front 7.
Yep.
They're going to be a very good team in comparison to like the cellar dwellers of the Big Ten. Not just comparing that to the win total cost, but if you look at their schedule, they avoid all of the big dogs in the Big Ten except for Ohio State and USC, which obviously 2 games that they're not winning anyway. But the schedule outside of that is incredibly winnable. And they always pull like one weird road upset per year, and it just happens this year. Like the road schedule are games that they're not going to win anyway. So which means the home schedule outside of like they play Purdue on the road, which obviously is very winnable, and they're probably going to win that game. The home schedule is where they're going to get a lot of their makers, and it is very, very soft.
Okay.
So like you would go up and down outside of, I won't even say Virginia Tech, but they have games versus Hampton and UConn to start. Easy 2-0. UConn's gutted. Virginia Tech and UCLA, next 2 home games. They win one of those, 3-1. Just speaking home games, Rutgers and Illinois and Wisconsin and Penn State are the other 4 home games on the schedule. I'm not as high as Penn State as a lot of people are, but that's also the last game of the season, so we'll see how they are then. Wisconsin, better team this year, I guess, but they beat them, shut them out on the road last year. So it's a system they know pretty well. Illinois and Rutgers, also both very, very winnable games as well. This team is going to be better, which is why, again, it's a system play. Didn't hit it last year. They're going to hit it this year, and it's a little higher because of that. They're the only team that can be said for in the Big Ten without massive changes, obviously, playing a part in that.
Yep.
They're going bowling
Okay.
with locks.
Okay. Yeah, they might go to the college football playoffs.
Okay. Okay.
Guys,
Okay.
long time for this.
They might.
Let's move.
Here's the problem. Goots, every time you tell me to move, I'm going to wait even longer. 10 seconds.
That doesn't. That
10
doesn't.
solid seconds. Here we go.
Okay. Try not to have to rush with any of these.
8, 9, and 10.
Okay.
Here's the problem with the Terps, and Goots going to like this one. Their best player on defense is out for the year.
Yeah.
Zahir Mathis just got ruled out yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, surely he's good.
He's
very
probably the
good.
only guy on their team that's going to the NFL.
Very
Really?
good.
To be honest. Well, luckily they have Zion Ali coming in, number 1 recruit in high school.
They also have
Surely that works out for them.
the other edge. I forget his name off the top of my head. I'm looking at it. Their other edge is
Sidney
fucking
Stewart, Evan Thomas.
Sidney Stewart is fucking nails.
Well, they're going to need him.
I think he's gonna be sneak riser.
This team, and again, this team always finds a way to fuck it up because they have horrendous coaching, but this team has a lot of roster talent. Can't deny. Not the first time they have.
No.
We'll see if they can actually win games this year.
Yeah.
But it's good to see their win total up to 5.5 from 4.5 last year after they lost every game in conference.
Yeah, and they were in not Wisconsin, so they won one. But in classic Maryland fashion, it was just for about 4 weeks the same loss.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were, I don't know, up late against Washington, blew it. Up late against Nebraska, blew it. UCLA game was terrorism. And then the wheels really fell off post Indiana loss, where I mean Indiana smoked them that game, obviously, but after that the wheels really fell off. It was ugly.
They fell off. All right, let's get to the win total under. Indiana. If you think Indiana's winning 11 plus games this year, I don't like you. I don't like you one bit. I don't like how you think. I don't like how you roll. I don't like your style. This Indiana team is going to have a target on their back every game they play this season. Every game. And I guarantee you they lose to Michigan on the road. That's one. That's a game people aren't even expecting them to lose. Talk about that game a little bit here.
Didn't even know that was the game you're talking about.
That's my game they're losing. I guarantee it that they lose that game. Give me Indiana less than 10.5 wins. Kurt Cignetti, great guy, but he could only, his Chipotle lore could only take it so far. And you can eat Chipotle every day for lunch, and I can, grow an appreciation for you. But you just won a national championship, and now your entire team is fat, happy, complacent, and rich. I think you see, Josh Hoover come in and shine, but I don't think this team wins 11 plus games. I'm fading Indiana. I'm fading the national champs. I will fade the national champ every year following their national championship, and I will make money on that team's win total under every single year.
Sure. Certainties.
Yep. What do you get about Washington here?
Speaking of, I think, overglazed teams in the Big Ten.
Mm.
This team's getting a lot of buzz for like the mid-tier teams, and I would assume most of it is just because Damon Williams is back. You hear all the buzz about this team, and the fact is everybody's saying how electric this offense is going to be.
Mm.
Don't know that I see it because not only like Damon Williams is back, great. I hear a lot of talk about this offensive line where that they have so much coming back too, and their numbers were fucking terrible last year. Like it was not very good. So like talking about the O-line, they have a lot coming back, but their numbers I think are a lot worse than people really realize. But the obvious part of it, you lose a lot of NFL talent when it comes to that offense.
Okay.
And I guess talent to college as well. Jonah Coleman's in the NFL, Denzel Boston's in the NFL. The guy who was like the guy in waiting post Jonah Coleman was Adam Muhammad. Guess what? He's taking handoffs from JKS now as RB1. So like the offense has a lot to replace, and like people are super excited about it. I just don't know that it's going to be as electric as people think. Like those pieces are a lot to move, and trust me, like I have somewhat belief in the scheme. Like Devon Williams back there, they're going to scheme things to, I guess, move the ball and make it electric. But you combine that with the fact that like, sure, Devon Williams at the helm of the offense is like super exciting to think about, and it was exciting at times last year. But the backbone of this team was defense. The backbone of this team was like the front seven was good, but it was really a secondary. That was all we heard. People remember the talks going into the Ohio State game where that was like the fakest sharp play of all time, Washington against Ohio State in Seattle. To all the talk about the secondary, those guys are fucking gone. Like, talk about NFL talent. They're barren, deserted when it comes to the secondary, which, again, was the backbone of that defense. The front seven was good, don't get me wrong. They were a good run-stopping defense. So, like, you know what you're going to get in the Big Ten. Not the most exciting offenses, so it's not to say they're going to give up 40 a game. But Washington team, I feel like, is going to disappoint a lot of people. A lot of people that are super excited about Damon Williams coming back. I don't love the situation, too, obviously, with him being pretty much forced to come back into the fold due to a contract dispute after he was going to leave. So it's a lot weird. And I will say, like, the 7.5 win total is interesting, too, looking at their schedule, because I think if you believe in their offense, you would look and say, pretty doable. Like, it's not the most difficult schedule on paper. They have, like, a tough road trip to USC that they're probably not going to win. They host a tough road trip to Oregon, too, which they're also probably not going to win. They play Indiana. So, like, those are, in my head, probably 3 guaranteed losses that put them at maximum 9-3. But the rest of them, like, they got a trip to Purdue. You got Iowa coming to Seattle as well. Like, they're not games that you think they would lose on paper. Those are games that I think their offense is going to fail them against some of the better defenses. And I guess you could include Penn State, even though I'm not the biggest Penn State guy compared to a lot of people. But these games are going to be weirder in conference, and I think people realize it. I really, really think that offense is going to disappoint a lot of people this year.
Yeah.
So under 7.5 wins.
I'm in. Fading the Huskies. Let's get to the breakout players of the Big Ten and the Big 2-6. I'm going J.J. Buchanan. Never heard of him? You might not have. He came over with coach. He was a tight end last year on Utah. Utah always has great tight ends. They have a bunch of tight ends in the NFL. This kid's the next star, but he's not a tight end anymore. He cut some weight. He's now a wide receiver. He's the best wide receiver on the team. He is going to dominate and surprise some people this year and break out as a wide receiver in the Big 2-6, and he is going to lead Michigan to, I think, to the promised land. I think back to the college football playoffs, but this kid's going to be a problem, an absolute weapon for Michigan and Underwood's #1 target. Watch out for Mr. J.J. Buchanan coming with coach. Love back at a guy coming with coach because that guy's probably going to get some reps early, right? You trust that guy more.
Yep. Brought him over for a reason.
Yep.
I don't even give you much of a sell job here. This is going to be one of the most coveted names in the transfer portal next year because of exactly what he puts on the field this year. If you don't know who Malik Washington is by now, by the end of the 2026-2027 season, you are going to know, and your favorite team is going to know because they're going to be throwing money at him in the portal. A lot of NIL is going to be coming his way. But after they make a bowl, maybe he gets convinced that they're building something there.
Yep.
But I'm not so sure. I think this is Sorsby route to a T, hopefully without the sports gambling issues.
Mm-hmm. That'd be nice.
Yep. Will be
All
great.
right.
I've heard he likes to gamble a little bit.
I could see it. It's out there in College Park. I mean,
There's not much to do
else
out
to
there.
do.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the Big Ten game of the year. I guarantee you Michigan beats Indiana this year at home. I will be on the money line. If you disagree, fade me. Just remember this conversation. Remember my words. Remember who told you Michigan's winning outright. Wolverines win this game. They shock the world. And this is the L that sends Cignetti and co. packing. You can kiss the college football playoffs goodbye when you lose to the Wolverines.
The only reason I don't love that is because Josh Hoover's taking an L the week before that.
Wow.
You think Josh Hoover is going? Not even going because it's a home game where currently things can change, obviously. Long way till then, but currently a home dog for however long that's going to last.
Yeah.
Probably won't, given the market respect Indiana's going to get, but we'll see what they end up doing. I guess it'll a lot hinge on what happens to the Ohio State-Texas game. But to address some things that Jeff Sunday said, I am far from a salty ex-Josh Hoover frog. Krabs and Goots can tell you I was pawning for him to transfer long before that actually happened throughout the entire college football season. But here's the thing. Big 12 quarterbacks going into play in the SEC, going into play in the Big Ten. You know, there's one of the reasons that I'm not like fully in on Sam Leavitt too, even though that's a very obvious different situation with the whole Lane Kiffin system. There's a reason that it doesn't happen very often, and there's a reason why it doesn't work very often. Because a lot of these quarterbacks have the same issue. When you're in the Big 12, the offenses are very open. This is not like 2013 where you're scoring 60 points a game, but a lot of the offenses are built the same way. Quick throws into space against zone coverage. When you talk about, frankly, like Sorsby had the same issue, but like when a lot of these quarterbacks play the Utahs, when a lot of them play the BYUs when a lot of them now play the Texas Techs. There's a reason those defenses are so fucking good now because Big 12 quarterbacks in their system can't really consistently throw against man coverage. It's a thing. It's like you can come out and say, new system, like Hoover's going to be fantastic, even though he is still Jameis at heart. It's not going to make that much of a difference against Ohio State. And I can tell you one thing, it's not just the fact that he has turnover issues. He is a head case, too, which I don't think is a lot of what people realize. He seems like this cool, calm, and collected quarterback just because of the way he plays and the way he speaks. He's a head case in game, and it gets in his head a lot. It's like when you're playing a team that's going to frustrate you, a defense is going to frustrate you like Ohio State. I don't care how much you think Indiana's just going to be better as a team. I don't care how much you think Kurt Cignetti's going to do it himself. He's not beating Ohio State. Be real with yourself.
Agreed. WP Dot coming in with a stream streak. Appreciate you, boss. All right. Enough yapping about the minor leagues. Enough yapping about the prelims. Enough yapping about the second best sport to watch and bet on. Let's talk about the professionals.
Pros.
Let's talk about the pros.
AFC.
Dog shit conference or dog shit division.
The second best division in NFL history, right behind the NFC East, AFC North. Historically, great division. Teams are always good, except for the Bengals. Browns, honestly, have taken a step back too. This division has seen better days. They have. But they're still historically relevant for sure. And you got 4 teams that's, kind of like the NFC East. Anybody can win in any year. Not this year. Ravens are a lock. In the NFL, new is good. Right? Look at Dan Quinn. If Dan Quinn's dumb, bald ass can take the Commanders to an NFC championship in his first year, take him back over since, trying to recover from that Super Bowl he blew against the Patriots years ago. If he could do that, I think that's the perfect example. Right? New is good in this league. New play caller, new head coach, right? New energy. New is good. You know why new is good? Because they don't have tape on new. They don't have film on new. These guys are so smart now these days. These coaches are so smart. They get paid so much. They better be smart.
Yep.
They're so good at figuring out how to stop even the best. Right? Well, you don't have any tape on new. You don't have any film to watch.
Guess who's the only new in the conference?
Well, there's some new for the Steelers, but it's not good new.
Yeah, I wouldn't really count that as new. We've the whole league's seen Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers plenty.
The Ravens, for the first time in Lamar Jackson's NFL career, they got a new coach. Love Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh is disrespected right now. I think he's a legend of the game. I like his old school mentality, but the old school mentality might just be that. It might be old school. Goots, if I'm you, man, I'm pretty fucking excited right now. Nothing to do with Harbaugh chirpage. Okay, he could succeed as well. He did great things. But I think new is good for this Ravens team. I think they're going to surprise some people. And I think Lamar is going to be Lamarvelous. I really do. I think Lamar is going to have an unbelievable season. You know why? He's going to be trying something new. He gets to wipe the slate clean, hit the reset button, and start fresh with a new regime. And I think that's huge. Give me the Ravens. They are running away with this division. And you know what? It's not even that high of a take. You can say what you want about the Ravens. They've always been regular season kings. That's not going to change in the Big 2-6.
Yep. Mr. Regular season will do it again. And the Ravens will win the division.
I wish I could we had time to talk about how they might do something in the postseason. But we don't.
No. We'll save that for when they're in the playoffs after winning the division. And then they have to play one of Mahomes or Josh Allen.
Well, if they get Josh Allen, they could win. Who do you got winning the division?
It's the Ravens.
Okay.
It's the Ravens. Doesn't come with I guess we can talk more about the standings, but the standings I think will play out order-wise pretty chalky. But like how it actually happens will not be chalky.
Okay.
Which I'll explain.
Okay. All right. Let's get to the win totals here. Steelers. I think I was a year early last year with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has now done things we never think we'd see Aaron Rodgers do, and I'm not talking about on the field.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers looked his parents in the eyes and told him he loves them. I think that could open some serious doors. I really do. I think that could really take a weight off the guy's fucking shoulders. Because you could say what you want about Rodgers. He's certainly a me guy. He certainly acts like, nothing matters and he's fine. Deep down, that guy's got some fucked up things going on. And for him to wipe that slate clean, I genuinely think is more important than people are making it up to be. I really do. Because now he heads into the season with a full support team. Even his brother, who I believe was on The Bachelor or some shit years ago. Apparently he was shit-talking Aaron Rodgers the whole show, saying he doesn't speak to him ever. They have now rekindled.
Nails.
He's a different man. He's a changed man.
Nails.
And I think he's trying to go out on top. I think he's realizing that although he could be this dickhead and still keep up this shtick, if he wants to win again, he had to make some changes. On the field, off the field, right? The changes off the field I'm really liking. What he's putting in his body in the offseason, I don't know if I like that or not. Okay, we'll leave that off to the side. We don't have time to talk about that. And I don't like Mike McCarthy. I think he's a fat slob. I think he's a shit coach, to be honest. And I never feared playing that guy one time when he was the Cowboys head coach. And that's usually how you can tell a guy's not a great coach.
Yeah.
Didn't fear him once. But they're getting the band back together. And it's making me feel something a little bit here. I think they got a chance. Again, I don't care who's coaching. I don't care who's playing. The Steelers win. Last year, the Steelers were a dumpster fire. Last year, the Steelers had banged up injuries, quarterbacks. They had DK Metcalf punching fans in the crowds. You got Mike Tomlin, a Hall of Famer, one of the best coaches in our lifetime, getting fired. The team won 10 games and they won their division.
Just.
What other organization in sports has this high of a standard? I don't know.
Ravens.
The
Ravens.
Somebody hear something?
It's true. It's one of the most well-run organizations in the entire fucking sports ecosystem. And you know it.
I don't know if we have time to talk about this, Gates.
We don't, but it's true. And it's the same for the Steelers. It's the same for the Steelers.
Wow, it's the same for the Steelers?
It is. It's different in the AFC North.
Nah, man.
Gooch just said the Steelers are a well-run organization.
They are.
And if he's saying that, that's how you know.
We both are. And Steelers fans probably won't admit it for the Ravens, but I will.
Well, that's growth, Goots. I really think so. That's growth.
not growth. I'm an unbiased person. Talk about the fucking Steelers or the Browns or whatever.
Okay.
That is truly just.
Aaron Rodgers. I said last year he was going to go out on top, take his team to the playoffs, right off into the sunset. Kind of right. And he said, fuck it, it wasn't good enough. I'm going to run it back again. He's taking his team to the playoffs again. No, they're not winning the division. Goots' Birds. They're coming in second, and they're going to the playoffs. And Aaron Rodgers is not a guy to want to fade in this little revenge tour after he couldn't get it done last year. This year, maybe he pulls off a miracle. I don't know. Real quick, their schedule is very, 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 very doable. And sure, they got an old fossil QB and they got a new coach coming in, but these guys know each other like the back of their hands, right? So it's not like it's going to take much time to, get the chemistry back here. Falcons, that's a win. Patriots, that's a loss. Bengals at home, that's a win. Browns on the road, like the Browns. I'll count that as a loss, but that certainly could be a win. Colts at home, that's a win. I'm giving Rodgers the win there against Daniel Jones. Bucks on the road, I'm going to give them a loss there, but I'm going to give them a win at the Saints because they win one of those two.
Sure.
That's 4 wins. They play the Browns at home, that's 5. They play the Bengals on the road, I'll give them a loss there. They play the Eagles on the road, I'll give them a loss there. They play the Broncos at home, I think they win that game. They beat the Broncos, that's 6 wins. They play the Texans at home. I think that's a TJ Watt legacy game against that O-line. It's terrible every year. I think they win that game, that's 7. They play the Jags on the road. I'm not going to say they win that game, but I think they win one of these 2 games at the Jags or against the Ravens at home. So that's 8 right there. Boom. We got 3 games to play with. We need 1 win. Panthers, Titans, Ravens. They're winning 2 of those games. Shit, they might win 3. If I'm no mathematician, that is more than 8.5 wins.
That is, yeah.
And that's cash into plus money. Give me the Steelers this year. Favorite win total over 8.5.
Certainties.
Yep. All right. Talk about the Brownies.
Yeah. I don't need to go too in depth because I know a lot of you guys were also listening. I think they had some similar thoughts towards the end of the board review right before we started up here. But it would be, I forget who said this, but just the funniest thing of all time for Deshaun Watson to put the Browns in a really tough contract spot. And I do think he's going to do that. I do think they're going to play well, especially with the plethora of talent they have. The one guy who I feel like I was kind of surprised, maybe it's just because of the whole quarterback situation, but one guy who's coming off an injury that I haven't heard one time, which is shocking because I feel like he's the only exciting young player that I haven't heard a peep about all offseason. Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah.
Who was fucking electric
He's good.
when he was on the field for the Browns in that game. It kind of like changes the whole flow of their offense, not only because he's fantastic, even though he's not like a huge pass catching back, but like they need a solid run game, especially in those conditions late in the season. He was fantastic. You talk about Harold Fannin. He was fantastic. They bring in Denzel Boston, which is a guy that a lot of people are excited about. He's going to be good, I think, really good. And they have other weapons, I guess, on that offense to make whoever it is under center, whether it's Deshaun, who I do still kind of believe in on the field, of course, or Shador, who can only get better because he was fucking terrible. I think this team has so much young talent. Shout out Goots. There's optimism for the future. And I know you guys heard Degen and Steak and Greg talk about the same thing. So, again, won't rehash that too much. But I did also find one weird quirk in their schedule, Krabs, that I'm very interested in because I feel like we get to this point a lot, especially like second half of the season, where there's weird teams with short lines in shit weather going into Cleveland. And there's always the upset, right? Or at least one per year they get. Would it be weird to tell you there has not been week 10 or later in the season, the last dome team to play in Cleveland was in 2022.
What?
Dome team. Team that plays in a dome.
Yeah.
There has not been one singular team to play there in the last 4 seasons.
But this year they have a lot?
This year there's 4.
Okay.
Which
That's
I think is incredibly interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. The last team was in December of 2022 was the Saints.
Yeah.
This year, there is Houston, Las Vegas, Atlanta, and Indianapolis. All week 10 or later. November 15th is the first one of those 4, meaning it's going to be fucking cold. So, like, no matter what you think of those 4 teams, obviously, like, I don't really have to tell you that the Raiders and Falcons are going to be very winnable games, no matter what you think of them. Probably have to sway you a little more on Houston, even though that game's probably going to have 5 points total and a field goal is going to swing it late. The Colts is the last game of the season, or second to last game of the season. Who knows what they're going to be by that point, whether they're healthy or not. There's any season where I think the conditions and their schedule kind of leans into it the most, it's probably this one. Not just because of those things, but like they have some winnable games, obviously benefiting from the last place schedule and the front half of their schedule as well. But I believe in the young talent. I believe in the schedule as well. I think this team is going to surprise a lot of people. And while I do think they're still probably going to finish in last place, margin's going to be a lot closer than it was last year, certainly.
Yep. Love it. All aboard the Browns train. I know Jeff took Deshaun Watson comeback player of the year.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the right.
I forget who told him that was a terrible wager, but I co-signed that, not because the wager's wrong, but like he could have the greatest season in NFL history. They're not giving him that, especially with Pat.
If the other 31 NFL teams could all get in plane crashes.
Yeah.
And lose their entire teams, and Deshaun Watson would still not win comeback player of the year.
Yeah, 100%.
There's nothing that he could do on planet Earth. He could have 100% completion percentage. He could have 50 touchdowns, 0 picks. They could go undefeated, win the ball.
Yeah. All Pat Mahomes has to breathe, win that award. Then if Aaron Donald comes back, I mean, he's probably the cleanest second place of all time, unless he like breaks the sack record or something, which probably won't, but breaks the sack record or something, like he'll be probably the number 1 option there. But between those 2 guys, I don't think there's a single shot anybody else wins it.
Yeah, I mean, sure. It really doesn't even matter about anyone else. It just matters that what he did, and there's no way the NFL gives that guy an award.
Yeah, I mean, the premise of the wager, I agree with. I think he's going to have a pretty solid year when nobody believes in him, but there's just no shot he's winning that award.
He's going to play 18 games.
Sean?
Yes. He will play all 18 this year. He will surprise some people.
Yeah.
I wish I could take Deshaun Watson more than games started on Prize Picks. I wish I could take that.
Well, it seems like you have a little bit of a pivot here, Krabs, that works as pretty much the same thing.
Luckily for us, there's another way. There's another way to wager that. And that's running it back, not hearing a bell after last year, getting stuffed in a locker, and Shedeur starting plenty of games, taking his less than 4.5 games started, and losing that square, obviously, last year. There's another way to back that angle in the Big 2-6, and that's taking Shedeur less than 7.5 games started in the Big 2-6. Look, guys, again, do you like making money and being right? If you had to pick between these two options, let me know. Option A, making money, being right. Option B, believing in a fairy tale story that's probably animated. Which one would you rather be in? Option A or option B? Which one?
Give me B, man.
No, you're not picking B. You're picking A. Anyone's picking A. Okay, and look, movies are great to watch every once in a while. I heard that new one out in IMAX is great. I'm never going to see it, but I heard it was great.
New one?
Even if it wasn't.
Odyssey.
Yeah, even if it wasn't, people are just going to group think and say it was great so they can seem like they're cool and hip, even if they didn't like it or even see the movie.
Yeah, true.
I'm sure it was great, right? Movies are cool and all, and fairy tales are great every once in a while when you're kids. You love them, right? You love the story. Shrek's a fairy tale. Great movie,
Yeah.
right? I love watching Shrek every once in a while, sure. In the NFL, in sports, in life,
No Shrek.
I like leaving the fairy tales off to the side. There's no animated swamp. There's not 3 blind mice walking around dancing, playing the piano. This is real life shit. Okay? And Deshaun Watson's getting paid a boatload of money. And he hasn't done shit besides stuff he wasn't supposed to do. This is the year he makes it right. Not saying he can fix what he did off the field. That is unfixable. But this is the year he makes it right for the Browns. This is the year we've been waiting for. This is the year we finally see vintage Deshaun Watson. And I don't want to call him Michael Vick. Disrespectful to Michael Vick. It is.
Sure.
Okay, but if you remember Michael Vick's story, you remember his career arc. Obviously had to take some time off. Middle of his prime. Comes back. Pretty good. Couple years. Eventually, he lost it.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, he was pretty old. But we saw some decent years, some decent games from Mike Vick on that Eagles team. I think it's in there still for Deshaun. Not saying they're good people. Not saying it's a story you should be rooting for. But it's one I want to make money on. And it's one I want to be right about. Okay, this is not a Cinderella story where you see Coach Prime's kid take over the league, right? That was a great effort. It really was. They tried to push that narrative last year, and if any team would do it, it's the Browns. They're that bad. Cool narrative, cool story, right? Cinderella-esque. I prefer real life shit. And here's the facts. Deshaun Watson's the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. You could like it. You could not like it. You could think that's ridiculous. You could think that should be illegal. It's fucked up. It is. It is. Your opinions or thoughts don't matter. This is the NFL. And they will sweep whatever they need under the rug to put out a better product on every Sunday.
Yep.
Whether that's right or wrong, not here to discuss it. But Deshaun Watson has some gas left in the tank. And he's getting the ball first. And if I was him, I would find any way possible to not give that thing up. It's not like you're competing with Tom Brady. You're competing with me guy Shedeur Sanders.
You got.
I like our chances. Remember how good Deshaun Watson was back then? Not saying he'll be that good ever again. I think he'll get close. He'll take this team over the win total like you're saying. And Shedeur will keep his ass parked on the bench for the entirety of the season. If I could take a demon less than half a game, I would take it.
You know he's starting one.
Yeah, if they make the playoffs and rest Deshaun last week of the season, sure. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Sure.
God. You're just.
Tell me why Rashad Bateman. Hey, look, for a Ravens generational hater, you're getting a lot of Ravens love here on this.
Yeah, you
want
to hear some rare Ravens glaze? I'll give it to you here, but I'll start it off with the reason why they've been dog shit. Other than Lamar and Lemoose Piss and Lemicky in the playoffs. The reason I've always felt like their receivers have never really meshed the way they thought is not just because people love to give excuses for Lamar not having actual receiver talents because they don't really know how to use them. They don't really know personnel-wise how to line them up. And Rashad Bateman, I guess, is the poster child for that. But like, they've tried him pretty much only as an outside X receiver. Zay Flowers, they probably do that with a lot more than usual or a lot more than they should. Any guy they've brought in like briefly, whether it was DeAndre Hopkins or Odell, they've put them in shit spots too. Declan Doyle comes in now. Was he the brainchild of the Bears offense? Obviously not, but he's been there enough. And there was a tweet that I saw because I was thinking about that exact thing. We were going over Go Whale Squares. I was talking with Trent. Then I see this tweet come up from Rashad Bateman talking about how Declan Doyle has been moving him around, using him different places. And there's also a quote tweet on it saying, since he's entered the league in 2021, Rashad Bateman has only played in the slot 10%, which is the third lowest mark in that span for any wide receiver who's played X amount of snaps or whatever it is, which never has made sense because Rashad Bateman, like, sure, he made his like fair share of plays out in college as like an outside deep ball only wide receiver, but he's found the most success when they haven't had him doing that in the NFL. So why are they consistently having him there? He's talking about like he's played in one of the most static roles in the NFL, which is 100% true. Now that he's out of that, I'm kind of in on Bateman. Does it hinge on a dog shit quarterback being able to throw him the ball? Yes. But miss regular season, should be able to do it. He puts up great numbers in the regular season throwing the ball. So I think overall, like, everything's set up well for Lamar, not just with new blood as far as an offensive system, but a new wide receiver room, not just new in terms of like names, because you bring in like Jacoby Lane, who I think is super overrated, whatever. But you're shuffling around receivers. So it's like a new look receiver room, I would say, because they're going to use them in such wildly different ways. I think Bateman, biggest beneficiary of that. Obviously, can he stay healthy? Another main question, but I think he's going to get more explosive plays than he's got the entirety of his career. I think he had one season 2 years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, Goots, where he had like 800 yards or something close to that. Yeah. It's been pretty dormant other than that, partially because of injuries. I think he stays on the field this year. I think they're going to use him in a lot of different ways, and I think that's one of the reasons why the Ravens offense should be better.
Okay. Shout out Bateman. And let's go ahead and give you guys our division order of finish here, and then we're going to get to the NFC North. Just going to read through these puppies. We've talked about these teams plenty. Give me the Ravens at number 1. I think they get it done, and they win the division with ease. Give me the Steelers to once again win. That's what they do. They win. Okay, they're going to come in second this year. Not buying into the Bengals hype. Again, I didn't talk about the Bengals at all, but here's my thing. If Zach Taylor is your head coach, I'm done. I'm out. If Zach Taylor's making decisions for your team to help you win, I'm out. I've already been there, done that. I've tried to get sharp with the Bengals. It doesn't work. He's a shit coach. You have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase on your team, and you can't win. Shit coach. Done. I'm not falling for it again. And then the Browns, who are 4th, but I was damn near close, moving them to 3rd. And I think that will be a very, very close gap between 3rd and 4th there with the Browns. Sure, they're going to come in last, but it's going to be close. Yeah. And this division's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I think the way this plays out, the Bengals mid-season are winning this division. I believe in the Bengals. Then they're going to blow it late. And the Ravens are going to come on strong and win the division. And also the Browns, just like you kind of agreed on. We have them last place, but we think that's going to come with like a 7-win team, not a cellar dweller like they were last year.
Yep.
And then the Steelers will just kind of be the Steelers somewhere in the middle there. So yep. I think this division for a while, mid-season, is going to look very chaotic, and then by the time we get to week 18, it's going to look exactly like the odds have it right now.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I was told we can go over by 10 if we need to.
Sure.
Okay. Cool. Hopefully we don't need to, but that is a huge little nugget there, Gootsy. Let's get to the NFC North. Okay. You got the Lions at plus 170 getting crazy line respect. You got the Packers. Go Pack, go. My least favorite team ever. Plus 225. You got the Bears, plus 305. Don't you guys think that if the Bears were going to go to the playoffs again this year, and if Caleb Williams is the truth, which I honestly think he is, but not this year, if you thought the Bears were going to be good again in year 2 of Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, wouldn't they be shorter odds than plus 305? Wouldn't they be probably ahead of the Packers, or at least close to it, or maybe tied? Yes. It's not a good sign seeing the Bears at 3rd there, and by a decent margin with a division that should be very, very close and even. In my opinion, this division should be plus 200 for every team to win the division. That's what I'd put it at. It's a fucking dart throw. It's a crapshoot. It's a roulette wheel spin. Good luck picking the winner this year in this division, because I think it's very, very even, equal. I think this division is going to be cinema, but you would have to pay me probably double to bet on the favorite in this division. Let's talk about our winners. I'm going the Packers. Yep. After the rant last year, after just shit talking them right now, don't care. Again, you cannot make long-term friends in this game. Leave yesterday in the past. You move on to tomorrow. Plain and simple. Go Pack, go. They're winning the division this year. I'm buying into LaFleur. I'm buying into Jordan Love. I'm buying into a running back who got in some trouble this offseason. And typically when that happens, they have a great season the year after. And honestly, he's been one of the best running backs in the NFL, and nobody cares or talks about it. Last year, I gave you guys his over 9.5 touchdowns, and that hit with ease. And that's just facts. He's unbelievable. So this team is great. Their defense is always solid. Packers are my winner for the NFC North. I will take them at plus 225.
Sure. And I'll be taking the favorite.
Yep.
The Detroit Lions to bounce back.
Unbelievable.
Nobody wants them. Fresh new toy, Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams. Then you got the Packers that are pretty much always just hanging around at the top. And sneaky, the only last place team that I have seen getting slurped to win their division or be anything of substance. Everybody's favorite, the Minnesota Vikings, which are not up here for anything else, but I am on the fade side of that, to call it at least. But bounce back year for the Lions. They win this division. Again, another one that's going to be pretty competitive all the way through, but Lions.
Okay. Yeah, it's good to see them as a favorite after last year. Some serious respect. I'm not a Jared Goff guy. I think it was a little bit of a fluky run, but I think their coach is overrated, to be honest. I think he's a great motivator, but I don't think he's a great actual coach. I think a lot of his coordinators were, and they're all gone. So we'll see how they could do this year. But it's a great bounce back narrative for the Lions, and it's good to see them, odds-wise in first.
Sure.
Let's get to our favorite win totals. I'm one of the Vikings fans this year, I'll say it.
Jane.
I am.
Jane.
Give me their over 8.5 wins at minus 110. That's an insanely high win total for a team that's supposed to finish in last place. Hilarious. Goes to show you how competitive this division will be. This is going to be an absolute dogfight. It's going to go to week 18. Right? It's not going to be a runaway in this division, in my opinion. It's going to be a dogfight every single week. I think we get the Vikings to get 10 wins this year. I was the guy who told you guys 2 or 3 years ago when the Vikings were plus 1,000 with Sam Darnold and this new coach who nobody knew shit about. Luckily for me, I'm cursed where my football team sucks, but every assistant coach who coaches there becomes the next great head coach in the NFL. It's happened almost 10 times.
Yeah.
We're almost to double digits. Well, it happened again.
Yep.
And they got Kevin O'Connell. Unbelievable offensive mind. And that's going to unlock a lot for Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's never had a good coach, ever. Kyler Murray's never had, what, you want to call Cliff Kingsbury a good coach?
No. Good offensive coach, though.
It's about as good as he's had, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, and sure, Cliff can call some offense. But besides that, man, I mean, Kyler Murray's had no help. His team, his coach. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals are a joke of an organization. Vikings are much more better well-run. And Kevin O'Connell is that guy. And you guys are going to get reminded that this year. Jay Jettis going to have a bounce-back season. Kyler Murray is going to go off and play every game this year. Just like Deshaun Watson. Big year for Kyler Murray. It is. He's got to prove some people wrong. And that's the kind of guy I want my money on. Somebody with a lot to prove and no expectations. Give me the Vikings. I think they win 9+ games. I honestly think they win double digits. Seeing them with a win total this high, and they're supposed to finish in last place, is hilarious. Skull.
Just. I'll be fading the Bears.
Yep.
I'll be fading the Bears.
Yep.
For all you Trent people, too, because one of the reasons the Bears were as good as they were last year, you don't need to call it luck necessarily. It's just being on the right side of things. Turnover differential. They had the highest in the NFL at plus 22. Plus 20 is decently rare for those who are unfamiliar with NFL statistics. There have been, in the last 15 years, there's been 5 teams other than the Bears to have a plus 20 or higher turnover differential. That would be the 2024 Bills, who were plus 24. And what happened the next year? That went down to plus 1. 2019 Pats, which this obviously Brady to Mac Jones, but plus 21 to plus 3. The 2015 Panthers, Cam Newton Super Bowl, plus 20 to minus 2. The only team that had only 2 teams that have like a little less of a drop. 2013 Seahawks went from plus 20 to plus 10 the next year, and the 2012 Pats went to plus 25 to plus 9 right after that. So it doesn't take rocket science to say when you play football in the NFL with a plus 20 turnover differential, the next year you're not going to be as fortunate. And definitely helps when, I guess helps is a way to put it, but you're in a very air raid happy offense. Say what you want about like how good the run game did. They made strides last year. I love my own guy. And DeAndre Swift is probably better than people give him credit for too in some spots. Caleb Williams is going to be throwing the fucking ball a lot. Yeah. So who is your best friend if you're looking for turnover regression, especially as a quarterback in the interception category? Going to be throwing the ball a lot. Hence why a lot of these teams had the same exact fate in that department. Not only did all those teams get a massive drop in turnover differential, every single one of them had less wins than last year, which when you're talking about the Bears, they had 11 last year. So technically you could say they could end on 10, whatever you want. This is different. We talked about how new is your friend when it comes to the NFL. You had that last year. That was your new year. Nobody's ever going to figure out Ben Johnson. He's not going to become this coordinator that's just dead or this offense that's just dead no matter what. But you're going to have to play it a little different when you're trailing in some games, when you're not getting the benefit of every single turnover in every single game, when you're not winning the margin in every single game, especially when the defense, it got covered up because they forced some turnovers in the big spots last year. They really were not that good. They were in a lot of shootouts. Think of like the Bengals-Joe Flacco game. There are a lot more games like that than I think people will like themselves to realize. And they made some ads, which I think are incredibly overrated over the offseason. Still think this defense is not going to be incredibly good. So when you're going to be in spots like that where you're needed to be in a lot of these shootouts, what do you think is going to happen after a year where you caught all the turnover luck and you're going to be slinging the ball? Because that's exactly what that system calls for. Caleb's going to throw some interceptions. Which is why his interception line is, I think, 2 full higher than what he had last year. A great year. Don't get me wrong. And I think he's going to have a lot of yards. I think they're going to rack up yards, partially because they're trailing games. But regression's coming for this team. This is one of those, there's a situation, maybe 5 you can count on your hand, every single year in the NFL between teams and players that people love to act like are not going to happen. Just like, I always use the Saquon example from last year. Madden cover off a career year, off a Super Bowl, or like, it's Saquon, whatever, it's the Eagles. Eagles fans, what are you doing fading Saquon? This is one of those spots when it comes to teams. There's going to be regression with the Bears. They are not winning 10 games.
I'm in. Sign me up. Love Caleb Williams, but not this year. Okay. Let's get to the favorite squares of the season. I'm sticking in the same category. Let me get Kyler Murray more than 13.5 games started. This is the squarest square you could probably take in that category. Don't care. Is
it though? Because I mean, he's hurt. Always hurt.
Yeah, he's always hurt.
It's still a gamble. I wouldn't say you're being that square.
I guess with the JJ McCarthy angle was what I was thinking of. I wasn't really thinking injuries. You're right.
Yeah.
He's always hurt. He always misses some games.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's not that square.
Not that square, right? Kyler Murray is going to start out all 18 this year. All 17 games, all 18 weeks. He will start the bye week. Yes. Him and Deshaun hand in hand will play every game this year. Lock that in a parlay. This odds should be pretty juicy for you. They're not going to miss a single game. Only way he misses a game is if they make the playoffs, shock the world, and he gets benched last week for a rest. Okay? Kyler is going to be the guy. Kevin O'Connell is going to unlock Kyler Murray. And there's a reason why you're not seeing a lot of Kyler Murray season-long squares. Maybe it's because they don't know how long he's going to play. Maybe it's because they don't know, his injury, right? But that's a pretty shit argument. They're putting up a square with how many games he's going to play. So they'd assume to know how many games he's going to play, right? If they're putting a square up for him, you'd think they'd at least be pretty confident in their read. Why don't they have any rushing squares up? Why don't they have a rushing receiving touchdown square? Why don't they have a rushing touchdown square for Kyler? Would certainly be interested in taking that for sure because I think he's going to be a menace, not just with his arm, but we know what Kyler can do with his legs. This offense is going to be a problem. And it's going to be because of Kyler Murray. Unless he gets, a season-ending injury, which you never know, right? You can't cap that shit. I'm not going to try to. He's healthy. He's playing every game, every week. It's Kyler season. Yep. And you're going back to your guy, Laporta's.
I am.
Yep.
Contract year Laporta, coming off a season where he only had 3 touchdowns, and it was overall pretty disappointing. Kind of could see the writing on the wall year 2, but not necessarily a lot of the reason was his injury. He had a big back problem, herniated disc in his back, which then turned into nerve issues for a while, which is now, according to him, the team doctors, and all of the coaches, fully situated. He's full go. Thank you, Goots. Full go for this season. But I think when you think about last year's Lions team, Krabs, I'm not saying the only reason, but did anybody think for a second the offense might have gotten a little worse because Brock Wright was tight end 1? The offense, because like
I think that's a fair thing to assume. Yes.
Yeah, like at least a bit, because like the offense was a whole different makeup. Yes, last year was like Amon-Ra does Amon-Ra role. You have your 2 running backs, whatever. Then JMO had to do like a lot of different things, which I think people were excited about because like it sounds good in name for a guy that I think a lot of people believed in to like take the next step and get a lot of volume and take like the underneath stuff and like all the gadget stuff towards the end zone, but like I don't think that's really the best thing for their offense. And I think you saw that as the season went to go on. It got a little stale, and they really didn't have much in that department, especially with Brock Wright and Zylstra or however many dog shit blocking tight ends they had try and run routes. Laporta's going to be back and going to be healthy. And you have David Montgomery not in the fold now, which, sure, you can make an argument. Pacheco, he's probably going to have 20 touchdowns this year. But he's going to come in and try and mooch touchdowns. But I think the goal line red zone packages get largely different, which means you're probably going to see a lot of what you saw Laporta's rookie year of kind of designing stuff for him to get in the end zone. Because like Amon-Ra is going to get his, sure. Gibbs is going to get his, even though probably due for a little touchdown regression himself. And that always comes with being the number 1 player in your position in fantasy every single year between him and Jamar Chase. Make your arguments. But Laporta's going to be schemed up in the end zone, I think, a lot. Because they don't really have too many other choices as an offense, to be honest with you. Plus, I think that's when their offense is at their best. Definitely helps, too. You know who their OC is, Krabs?
Who?
Drew Petzing. You know where he was last year?
Where?
For an infamous free Trent Goatwell square? Arizona.
Wow.
With Trey McTutties.
Sure.
Granted, a little motivation because he didn't do shit last or the year before that. And a lot of those were garbage time tutties because that's when Brissett threw passes. But I think he understands the importance of scheming up your tight end in the end zone, especially when he's a crucial part of the offense.
Certainly.
I think he does. So Laporta will be back and will probably be in the go well.
Noted. It's Laporta season, folks.
Laporta season.
Okay.
Contract year Laporta.
Let's get into the division order of finish here, folks. I'm going Packers, number 1. After that rant last year, they probably are going to win the bowl. So for them to do that, they probably got to win the division. Give me the Packers at 1. Go Pack, go. Give me Skull at 2 here to shock the world. I think the Vikings will be pretty solid this year and score a lot of points. Give me the Bears at 3 to regress. And then give me the Lions in last. Crazy. Lions in last. Dan Campbell's a shit coach. He's just a great motivator. Shit coach. He lost all his coordinators who knew what the hell they were doing. We'll see if they can figure it out this year, but I'm not a buyer.
Campbell, you're going back to LaFleur after that rant.
Has to be
I
done.
thought you would never be able to do it again.
It has to be done, unfortunately.
Unbelievable.
All right. What about your order of finish here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Lions believer. I think the Pack will just be there. Slight Bears regression, and I just don't buy the Viking shit, to be honest with you. I do think it's weird, too. Nobody's mentioned it. Nobody's talked about it. They won 9 games last year with J.J. McCarthy. I think we can all agree situation is wildly better this year with a wildly better quarterback. Win total is 8.5. I feel like that's getting swept a little bit.
Yeah.
Why is it like that? I don't know, but I think we might find out.
Interesting. Certainly. All right, chat. It's about that time. Why don't we go ahead and get to it? Shout out to Duke for getting involved with a follow as well. Appreciate you following on Twitch. We're live on YouTube as well. All right, chat. Let's get into it. Before we do, make sure you guys play Beat the Streak today, please. Okay, make sure you lock in your Beat the Streak pick. This is your reminder. Lock in your Beat the Streak pick for today. Go do it right now before you forget. Don't wait. Don't say I'll do it later. Don't say I'll do it after the show. You're going to forget. Do it right now. Hurry up. A link is in the chat. Okay, and make sure you guys follow the Bookit Snapchat as well. I know you're all following the Bookit X already. Make sure you're following the Bookit Snapchat as well, because this weekend in Toronto, we're going to have plenty of content on the Snapchat and on the Bookit socials, X, Insta Story, whatever. about the Kings Plate races up here in Toronto. So get involved. Drop a follow the snap. You could be the 100,000th follower
No.
on the Snapchat. It could be you.
No.
But you don't know until you try. Okay, get involved.
Get a medal for that.
And with that being said, do me a favor, Goots, if you're around, if you're local, run that shit. I'm trying to see that train. All right, chat. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring the poll back today. Okay? Let's go ahead and get some options up and moving. We're going to put the Titans in here. Make sure they're still minus 5.5.
3 Titans.
I'm picking my least favorite plays because those are the ones that hit. Remember, guys?
Okay.
Not the favorites.
Okay.
So I'm going Titans.
Okay.
I'm going Brewers.
Okay. Oh, those are your only options anyway. Mystics ain't going in.
What's the BC Lions line at right now?
Just looking at that, seeing some movement down to 3.5. I don't think it's gonna matter. They're winning outright, but 3.5 is what we're getting.
We'll put them in. BC Lions plus 3.5.
How'd you
We'll put 'em in.
How'd you not bet on the Packers?
I've been waiting for Kyron Drone squares all day. I've been waiting.
Absurd.
Let me check again. We'll put that poll up for you guys. We'll put it up for a couple minutes here.
Put the Twins in too.
Yes,
Yep.
Twins in as well. Yep. 4 plays, 4 winners, chat. I'm going to check and see if they put the Kyron Drone squares up. I doubt they did.
Shot.
Super beat. You don't think we'll see those up?
I'd be surprised.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Chat, get those votes in. Hurry up. Go, go, go. Get those votes in. Get them in, get them in, get them in, get them in.
Are you fading any goats today in the preseason? Boy, do they have some ammo for you.
Yeah, they do. They got Joe Burrow up for 53.5 passing yards. Most popular square.
They got Bijan up for half a receiving yard and 8.5 rush yards.
Interesting. I might have to back Tua today
Oh.
to do something good.
Oh. Back to Aller.
Half a passing touchdown demon.
Oh.
Chat, get those squad ride votes in. Hurry up. Go, go, go.
Fading Carson back.
I'm running a goat whale of all contract year players: Baker, Chase Brown, Pickens, Laporta, Tucker Kraft. Thoughts? I've seen worse.
Seen a lot worse ideas.
I've seen worse. Chat, get those votes in. Get them in. Come on.
Get them in.
Come on. Lock them in, folks.
Get them in.
Lock them in, folks. Come on. Get those votes in, chat. We need way more. The poll is up on Twitch. The poll is up on Twitch. Get those votes in, folks. Come on.
Yeah, Riley Leonard rush yards up. Just. It's just so tempting just to take it as a cap tip every time it's on the board. So tempting.
Yep. Come on, chat. Get those votes in. Last call. What's it going to be? Come on. What's it going to be? Get those votes in. We do have a yap right after this, guys, so stick around. Okay? Awesome. All right, we're trying something new today. Okay, the least voted play is the squad ride today.
Nah.
We're fading the poll.
No way.
Yep.
He snuck it and brought it back.
Yep.
I knew there was something hiding behind curtain.
If you guys can try to rig the poll or not vote or participate, I could do whatever the fuck I want. This is my show. This is my city. You're in my show. And I'm doing that. And we're fading you guys. Because every time the last voted play is free. And until we're back to being sharp, smart, and winning, I'm fading the squad ride poll. Give me the Brewers first 5+1/2. How about them apples?
That is just.
Yep. How about them apples?
Just.
I'm 10 steps ahead today, folks. 10 steps ahead. Yep.
Let's go.
Perfect.
I am in on the Brewers, though.
Brewers. First 5+1/2. Squad ride. Do me a favor. Stick around for the yap. Okay? And we'll catch you guys on Monday for a full week of BTL next week.
Full week.
Full shebang. Okay?
Oh my God.
Same time, same place. We'll be.
Will be.
Peace. Yep, it's like that.
Dude, it's literally squirting. Squad right against the Dodgers against Roki.